The second edition of the Barnstable Patriot Cup in 2024 is just a few moments away as the Kettleers are set to do battle with the Harbor Hawks for the second time this season. Hi, everybody, and welcome back into the Kettleers Radio Network. I'm Joe Pratt, joined alongside Alex Rocco as always. Adele Huffman will be joining us in just a few moments, but we got a great game set up here today for Game 19. Both of these teams vying for the second spot in the West Division. Cotuit at 11-7-0, Hyannis at 10-7-1. And Alex, what excites you about this matchup today?
And Joe, it should be an excellent contest between two teams, like you mentioned, battling for that second spot in the West Division. And Cotuit has struggled so far this month, but this is a Hyannis team that is really starting to play good baseball. They have a deep lineup, so should be an excellent day today.
Yeah, and speaking of that lineup, they'll be going up against the right-hander, Jason Reitz. And how will the Kettleers line up against him today?
So it's the same top two hitters from yesterday's contest against Bourne. Grant Jay leads things off for the Kettleers. He will catch. Playing at first base and hitting second is Tanner Thatch. Coming back into the lineup and playing the designated hitter role is Brooks Bryan. Devin Taylor gets back-to-back starts in right field. Tyler Cerny hits behind him, batting fifth and getting the nod at shortstop. Hitting sixth and playing left field is Max Ballou. In center field and batting seventh is Kian Vu. Hitting eighth, the second baseman Jaron Advincula. And rounding out the Kettleer lineup is Nolan Araki.
And they'll be facing Jason Reitz tonight, going for him out of St. Mary's College in Northern California, recently announcing his transfer to Oregon. And what can we really expect from him tonight, Alex?
This is the second start for Reitz this year. Has gone 5 innings, allowed just 5 hits, 2 earned runs, but has struggled with the walks in those 5 innings. Has allowed 5 walks, has struck out 5, and for him, he needs to do a better job of attacking early and getting first pitch strikes. Has fallen behind hitters a bunch so far this summer, throwing 77 pitches, 43 for strikes. So the control is going to be key for Reitz out on the bump.
So we are ready to go from McKeon Park. A great day for baseball. Partly cloudy skies, some blue up there above the lightless McKeon Park so far today. It'll be Grant Jay to lead things off against the tall righty Jason Reitz. 6'9", 185 pounds from San Jose, California, and getting his second start this summer. He brings his red glove in front of his face and goes into the windup. A first pitch that Jay turns on deep down the left field line and above the Hyannis bullpen, deep into the trees, and a strike one on Grant Jay. Attacking that first pitch here from Jason Reitz, who was released by the Armith Dennis Red Sox on June 27th after appearing in one game for them, and then signed and activated by the Harbor Hawks a day later on the 28th. The 0-1 pitch finds the heart of the plate, and it's strike two on Grant Jay, who's ahead in the count 0-2 now and batting in the leadoff spot for the second straight game. Saw Jay go 2 for 4 in that role last night. Wasted no time to get the first extra base hit of the ball game, as that 0-2 pitch bounces in front of the plate, and it's blocked by Dalton Bargo. Jay putting one off the left field fence in the first inning of yesterday's game at Lowell Park. Cotuit playing just 5.5 innings against the Bourne Braves to get their 11th win of the summer. Now the count 1-2, the righty deals. Jay fouls it straight back into the screen to stay alive. That's been a good couple of games for Jay. A couple days ago, appearing in a game as a pinch hitter at Chatham, roping a single, going 1 for 2 in that contest, and then, of course, as mentioned, 2 for 4 a night ago. He hails from the right side, facing the tall righty Jason Reitz. The pitch reaches out over the plate and fouls off the breaking ball to stay alive once more. Hyannis wearing their alternate bright orange uniforms today with light blue Hyannis script across the front, a number on the front as well, blue pinstripe pants to go along with that. From the windup, Reitz deals again, and it bounces far in front of the plate. Dalton Bargo putting a good block on it once more. And the count 2-2 here to Grant Jay. Solid at-bat here worked by Jay to start off this ball game, as Reitz is battling at a 2-2 count. Here it comes. Breaking ball taken, and the count's full. It's a great battle by Jay here.
Excellent job by Grant Jay, continuing to see pitches deep into this at-bat. 7 pitches so far, and that's exactly what you want here for the leadoff man.
Reitz brings the glove in front of his face once more. The payoff finds the dirt, and Grant Jay is headed to first with a leadoff walk.
Just a great at-bat for Grant J to lead things off. Fell behind in the count 0-2. Battled back, fouled off a couple of tough pitches, and Reitz couldn't find the zone, and Jay patiently worked the walk. And what an excellent at-bat, seeing 8 pitches, and now brings up the ultra-hot Tanner Thatch.
That's right. Here's Tanner Thatch. Another great night at the plate last night, knocking his 5th home run of the summer. Now he powers this one to deep right center field, taking Josh Tate back to the fence, and it's gone. Tanner Thatch with a 2-run blast, his 6th of the summer, and it gives the Kettleers a 2-0 lead before the Harbor Hawks notch their first out of the ball game.
That ball was crushed off the bat of Tanner Thatch, his 6th home run. This guy just continues to rake at the dish. 7 for 8 in his last 3 games, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs. And Joe, this top 2 of Grant J and Tanner Thatch continues to get things done.
Thatch have just exploded against right-handed pitching. Now his 14th and 15th RBIs against righties this summer. Cotuit capturing the 2-0 lead, and now it's Brooks Bryan who returns to the lineup for the first time since June 23rd, and he takes a ball outside. So the Kettleers been able to score first now for the 8th time this season. They're 5-2 when they do that. Brooks Bryan takes low for a ball 2 now. Ahead in the count is the lefty who is making his return to the lineup after playing for Team USA down in Cary, North Carolina. Played in the International Friendship Series and actually hit a grand slam in the final game of that series to complete the sweep. And now he launches this one high into left field towards the Hyannis bullpen. It'll take 1 hop and leave the ballpark. So a 2-1 count now to Bryan as he fouls off the 2-0 pitch. So it was a grand slam for Brooks Bryan to give Team USA a 6-0 advantage en route to their 5th straight win against Chinese Taipei in the International Friendship Series. Truly not skipping a beat since leaving Cotuit and headed down to the national program. And now the 2-1 pitch to him. Takes a strike 2. Was 2 for 5 in his first 3 games, 2 for 9 in total. This is 6th game played as the 2-2 pitch is fouled straight back off the padded backstop. And Brooks Bryan again working the count here on Jason Reitz. So it was Grant J to work the 8-pitch at bat, then Tanner Thatch wasting no time to power his 6th home run over the right center field fence. Attacking the first pitch there. Now Brooks Bryan with the infield shifted far to the left, shortstop playing behind the bag at second. Here's the 2-2. Bryan rolls that one over towards first base. Blake Cavell fields it. Underhand flips to Reitz, who's covering the bag there for the first out of this first inning.
That's a good response from Reitz there after falling behind in the count 2-0 against Bryan. Couple of foul balls there and just gets him to roll over on a ground ball to the first baseman.
That all-important first out for Jason Reitz. He finally gets it here. Now, base is empty. Infielders will return to their regular spots, and Devin Taylor will dig in. A sacrifice fly in last night's game. Other than that, 2 strikeouts. He takes low and inside here for ball 1. So we mentioned that infield. Blake Cavell just making that play out of Western Kentucky. Gets the start at first base. John Gazdar. Austin P. plays second. The 1-0 pitch to Devin Taylor is hit hard on the ground towards Gazdar, who's up with it in the hole and throws a routine play there that he made look easy for out number 2.
It was a hard hit ball off the bat of Devin Taylor, just right to the second baseman, John Gazdar, and back-to-back outs for Jason Reitz after surrendering the 2-run bomb.
So now here's Tyler Cerny, another guy who's been hitting the ball hard as of late. 2 for 3 last night against Bourne in 5 innings, and he takes a pitch upstairs at 85 miles an hour for a called strike 1. Now the 0-1 from Reitz gets a big swing and miss there on the breaking ball that broke away from the righty Cerny, and now he's down in the count 0-2. Reitz making his third appearance on the Cape this summer. Made one start for the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox on June 21st, pitched against Falmouth. Went 3 innings, allowed 2 runs. Now the 0-2 to Cerny. He checks his swing as it bounced in the dirt, and it's 1-2. 2 earned in that appearance and then made the switch over to Hyannis. Hasn't allowed any runs as a Harbor Hawk until that 2-run bomb given up by Tanner Thatch. Now trying to escape the inning. The 1-2 pitch from Reitz is fouled straight back, climbing the ladder, and Cerny was able to foul it away to stay alive. So really nice job by hitters in this inning for Cotuit to work counts even despite just 1 hit. Reitz ready once more. The 1-2. It's a breaking ball, rolled on a 3-hopper towards short. Lodis is up with it, throwing to first, and it's in time there to get Tyler Cerny. So 3 up, 3 down after allowing the first 2 base runners to reach, including a 2-run home run off the bat of Tanner Thatch. So the Kettleers lead it 2-0 as we go to the home half of the first here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
To Lowell Park, a blast from the past. Several of the players will take batting practice before a pregame ceremony honoring the team, followed by a group first pitch. The Kettleers will take on Chatham, the team Cotuit beat in 1995 for his 13th CCBL title. Join us in welcoming Kettleers history Saturday, July 13th at Lowell Park.
The Kettleers baseball clinics are well underway in the summer of 2024, offering boys and girls ages 6 through 17 with the opportunity to learn from some of the most experienced coaches and some of the top college baseball players in the country. With no prior baseball experience necessary, the camps teach kids the fundamentals of baseball, as well as good citizenship, sportsmanship, and character. With just a few weeks of camp left, time is running out. So to sign up, head over to info.collegebaseballcamps.com/CK. Again, that's info.collegebaseballcamps.com/CK. We hope to see you there.
Looking to connect with the right business? ZoomInfo's got you covered. With a database of over 100 million company profiles, they provide top-notch data to boost sales and marketing growth. Since 2007, ZoomInfo's B2B data quality has ensured that businesses have the best intelligence right at your fingertips. Discover more at zoominfo.com and see how you can get connected today. Great start for the Kettleers in the top of the first inning. Tanner Thatch with his 6th home run of the summer, giving the Kettleers a 2-0 lead, and that gives a 2-run cushion for Joey Volchko to start his first game for the Kettleers, of course returning from the Team USA national roster in Cary, North Carolina, and he returns for his 2nd appearance with the Kets. And what can we expect from him, Alex?
Well, Volchko's a high-velocity arm that in his first appearance for the Kettleers sat around 96, 97 miles an hour on that fastball. Really pure strikeout pitcher, and can't wait to see him work and start a game here for Cotuit.
So he'll face this Hyannis lineup that starts with Kane Kepley. He'll be followed by John Gazdar and Blake Cavell in this bottom of the first inning. Joey Volchko with the glove at his belt, staring straight down towards his catcher Grant Jay. Goes into his windup and throws a 96-mile-an-hour fastball that misses outside to Kepley. 1-0. Alex Lodis will bat 4th, Mason White 5th, Michael DiTallo, the DH, batting 6th, Dalton Bargo, the 7-man. The 1-0 pitch from Volchko is outside once more. Anthony Silva gets the start at 3rd and bats 8th. Josh Tate, the center fielder, bats 9th. So Joey Volchko getting his first appearance on June 22nd. This is 2nd time on the mound pitching for the Kets, both on the road. Nods his head up and down once, and now the 2-0 pitch is a breaking ball at knee height, called a strike 1 to Kane Kepley. Infield outfield playing straight up. The 2-1 again. Here it is, a breaking ball once more to even it up at 2-2. Kane Kepley through 18 games this season. A .268 hitter with 8 driven in. 12 stolen bases, and a big reason as to why he's at the top of this Hyannis lineup. 2-2 pitch, takes low and inside, and he's worked it full. So both leadoff hitters for these squads able to work a count full against these starting pitchers who are trying to work quickly through the first inning. Joey Volchko, 2 1/3 for the Kets so far. The 3-2 is hit hard on the ground towards third, but in foul territory. Hyannis coming off of a game last night, 7-inning game where they lost 3-1 to the Orleans Firebirds. Orleans, one of the bottom feeders in the league thus far, but getting the win last night as the 3-2 pitch is fouled away once more. Simply going 1 for 3 last night with a strikeout. And Harbor Hawks really struggling to put runners on base, and runners in scoring position went 0 for 4 in that category as the 3-2 pitch is fouled straight back and over the screen. So another good battle here to start off the game for Kane Kepley. Infield will be playing him straight up. Clear skies overhead. Volchko standing tall on the mound from the windup with the glove just above his belt. Shakes off a few signs from Jay. And now he goes into his 3-2 delivery. Here it comes. Kepley checks his swing. They check down at first, but he did not go. And just as the Kettleers did to start off the first inning, Kane Kepley works the full count walk.
Kepley just disciplined at the plate there, laid off a couple of tough pitches from Volchko and worked a 9-pitch at bat. And once again, like we said about Grant Jay, that's exactly what you want to do at the top of the order. See as many pitches as possible.
Now John Gazdar. Volchko throws back at first. Tanner Thatch applies the tag, and Kepley slides in safely. So Tanner Thatch gets another start at first base. Jaron Advincula plays second. Tyler Cerny at shortstop, and Nolan Naraki back in the lineup playing at third. First pitch to Gazdar. Checks his swing, and it's a called strike one by the home plate umpire. John Butka behind the dish today. John Cruz is at first base, and Joseph Giacco at third. So now Volchko working from the stretch. The 0-1 is tipped off of the glove of Grant Jay. It's a foul ball and an 0-2 count now to Gazdar. So Volchko making his debut at Stony Brook Field against Brewster. Going into this game with a 3.86 ERA. Of course, the small sample size of just 2 1/3 innings. He did allow an earned run, walked 3, struck out 4. Now ahead 0-2 on Gazdar. The payoff pitch. He hits it off the end of the bat. Little floater into left center field. Ballou tracks it down in the alleyway. 4 out number 1.
The ball just off the end of the bat of Gazdar as he flared it into left field, and a nice job by Ballou to run a decent bit in left field as he makes the running grab for the first out.
Now here's Blake Cavell. Big left-handed hitter. This will be his 4th game for the Harbor Hawks so far this season. Now he takes one in the dirt. 96 on the gun there from Joey Volchko. Hard thrower who just finished up his freshman season at Stanford. Now this one's rolled on the ground towards third. Up with it is Naraki, throwing to second. Advincula makes the play there. Relays to first. It's not in time. So Blake Cavell reaches hustling up that first base line. Nice transfer, though, from Jaron Advincula, who drew some complaints from that Hyannis dugout. They didn't think he touched the bag, but it looked like he leaned down with his left knee to get the first out.
That was a hard hit ball off the bat of Cavell. A nice snag by the third baseman Naraki, and even better tag by Advincula, and good speed from Cavell to beat it out.
Yeah, so he was able to get the first out of the double play there. Now 2 outs total in the inning for Alex Lodis, who goes around on the first pitch and is now down in the count 0-1 on the breaking ball from Joey Volchko. Went 2-1 this past season at Stanford with a 5.70 ERA. Made 6 starts. Now the 0-1 pitch is another breaking ball that falls right in. 0-2. Pretty pitch there from Volchko. So now with the runner on first, Blake Cavell, he's got a short lead there. Volchko with an 0-2 count. 2 gone. The pitch. Lodis watches another breaking ball go by low and outside. 1-2. Lodis, playing in his 5th game for the Harbor Hawks so far this season, has 7 hits. The 1-2. Chopper just above the mound and past the outstretched arms of Tyler Cerny into center field. That's a base hit for Alex Lodice, his 8th on the young season.
Lodice has really continued to impress here for the Harbor Hawks. 8 for 14 and average well above 500 there, and a big 2-out base knock to continue the inning.
Volchko up to 18 pitches, 12 of which have been strikes in this first frame, and now facing Mason White, the left-handed hitter out of Arizona. Digs in. The first pitch he sees is beneath his knees, called a ball 1. Mason White, a .305 hitter this past season at Arizona. Part of the Pac-12 All-Tournament team, Pac-12 Tournament MVP for his performance in the Tucson Regional, and now he fans and misses at a 96-mile-an-hour fastball, low and outside, and it's 1-1. Went 3 for 8 in that series, knocked 2 doubles. Now a big opportunity here to get the Harbor Hawks back in this game. The 1-1 pitch is outside, 2-1. So the runners are on first and second. Cotuit leads it 2-0 on the first inning home run from Tanner Thatch, who's playing deep at first. Middle infielders are back. Cerny holding the runner on at second. So a gaping hole on the left side of this infield. Mason White from the left side in control. 2-1 count. Volchko comes to the plate and gets a big swing and miss on the breaking ball. Now 2-2 on White. White, a couple of phenomenal seasons at Arizona in 2023, hitting .313. Taking his talents to the Harbor Hawks this summer, who are off to a solid start as he fans and misses at strike 3. Going back to the breaking ball was Joey Volchko to end the bottom of the first frame. So the Harbor Hawks put 2 runners on base, unable to do anything with them from there. And the Kettleers protect a 2-0 lead as we go to the top of the second here on the Kettleers Digital Network.
Be a part of historic Lowell Park and support the Cotuit Kettleers by purchasing a paver engraved with your personal message to be placed in the new Walk of Champions. For more information, visit the Cotuit Kettleers website.
Beacon Gardens is a full-service garden center right here in Mashpee. They sell a variety of landscaping materials and seasonal produce to both consumers and landscaping professionals around the Barnstable Village. Stop by and see all Beacon Gardens has to offer at 182 West Barnstable Road in Austerville.
Operating on Cape Cod since 1988, Advanced Embroidery has garnered national awards in embroidery and screen printing. They offer screenings on golf shirts, Oxford shirts, jackets, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and bags. Advanced Embroidery will print your company's or team's logos anywhere. Thousands of satisfied customers can attest for Advanced Embroidery's attentive customer service, tight quality control, and quick turnaround time. They're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday on 38 Plant Road in Hyannis.
Cape Cod Coffee is a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers. They offer breakfast and lunch, as well as indoor and outdoor dining. Check out Cape Cod Coffee at one of their 3 locations, on Route 130, at Mashpee Commons, and at Wareham Commons, or on their website at capecodcoffee.com.
Jimmy, do I want to learn how to count? Click the button.
Top of the second inning from McKeon Park. The Kettleers will send out their 6, 7, and 8 hitters in this inning to face Jason Reitz, who struggled against the first 2 batters he faced in the inning. But Alex, after that, really settled things down, went 3 up, 3 down with 3 groundouts.
Really got some soft contact. You mentioned the groundouts of Brian, Taylor, and Cerny, and those are 3 dangerous hitters in this Kettleer lineup, but just fell behind early and, of course, gave up the 2-run shot to Tanner Thatch.
So it'll be Max Ballou to lead things off. First pitch he sees is hit high down the right field line, giving chase Kane Kepley towards the line, and that one twists foul. So Max Ballou in his return to the lineup last night from Team USA, going 1 for 3. Knocked in a couple RBIs. Other than that, grounded out twice, but part of that massive third inning for the Kettleers that gave them control of that ball game, but then Bourne responding in the top of the 4th with 6 runs to take a 7-5 lead as the 0-1 pitch bounces in there to Ballou, and it's 1-1. So the Kettleers winning that game in 5.5 innings, taking it 8-7, a back and forth battle. Both teams exchanging rallies as mentioned. But luckily for Cotuit, getting that 11th win of the season to boost themselves into second place in the West Division. Now this one's rolled on the ground towards Gazdar at second, who flips to first in time to get Ballou there. So 4 straight outs in response to the home run for Jason Reitz.
Reitz has been in control after surrendering the 2-run bomb in the Thatch, just getting pitches low in the zone, and these Kettleers pounding them straight on the ground.
So Kian Vu will dig in. Hyannis, of course, with their 3-1 loss at Orleans last night, fell back to third place in the division. Now the first pitch to Kian Vu, the lefty, gets underneath it, sends a twisting pop-up into foul territory, giving Chase Silva, has some space onto the stone dust, and just in front of the Hyannis dugout, he will pull down the second out.
This is exactly how you want to start out off the second inning if you're Jason Reitz. Just 4 pitches, 2 outs, and working weak contact.
So now here's Jaron Advincula. He got that 4-run 4th inning started last night with a single, and the Kettleers kind of switching up their lineup. Mike Roberts going back to Advincula batting in the 9 spot, and then Grant Jay getting the leadoff spot role, and then Tanner Thatch at 2 in the order as Advincula takes low and outside for a strike 1. Roberts said he felt like he needed to change up the lineup. Jay with the leadoff man role led off the game with a double, then Thatch singled, Peebles singled. That was the 1-2-3 in the order. And now Advincula gets ahead of that fastball and swats it away foul, 0-2. Mike Roberts said they got a little bit of momentum and it just kind of flowed from there with their lineup. So they get Grant Jay, Tanner Thatch back at the 1-2 spots today. Jaron Advincula in the 8-hole. Now the 0-2 pitch to him. Swats it foul once more, this time to the away side, or the home side on the third base line. And staying alive at 0-2. So clearly something working with that lineup shuffling last night.
And just having a talented hitter like Jaron Advincula at the bottom of your order, always having a runner on base. And of course, now you have Grant Jay, Tanner Thatch, 2 of your power hitters at the top of the order. Seems like a recipe for success.
Certainly was last night. Advincula with another multi-hit game. 2 for 2 on the night, and now he hits one hard into deep right field. Kepley going back towards the fence, but he settles under it, and the yard holds that one for out number 3. So 3 up, 3 down go the Kettleers in the top of the second. They still lead at 2-0 though as we go to the bottom half of this frame here on the Kettleers Radio Network. For nearly 2 decades, Coastal Irrigation has proudly provided top-notch irrigation and landscape lighting services across Cape Cod. Starting with just a handful of customers in Cotuit, they now serve nearly all of the Cape. Upgrade your lawn care with their modern irrigation systems. No more dragging around hoses or worrying about watering while you're away. Their systems ensure your grass stays healthy and green effortlessly. Transform your home with Coastal Irrigation's landscape lighting services. Enhance your outdoor gatherings, improve safety, and boost curb appeal with their affordable, low-voltage lighting solutions. Illuminate your walkways and highlight architectural details to make your home shine. Contact Coastal Irrigation at 508-428-1529 or info@coastalirrigation.net.
RCA Electric and Generators is dedicated to helping homeowners and building contractors select, purchase, install, and maintain the ideal generator for their specific needs. Since being founded by Randy Agnew in 1990, this Barnstable-based family-run business has grown its reputation by serving all of Cape Cod, the South Shore, and the South Coast. Get in touch today by reaching out to RCA at 508-428-0449 or visit in person at 153 Commercial Street in Mass.
Discover a treasure of nearly 70,000 books at the Isaiah Thomas bookstore right here in Cotuit. Founded in 1969 and relocated to a restored 1860s Crocker family house in 1990, their shop is a haven for book lovers of any age. Visit the Isaiah Thomas bookstore on 4632 Falmouth Road in Cotuit.
Back for the bottom of the second inning, Joey Volchko's first delivery is up and inside to Michael DiTallo for ball one at 93 miles an hour. Gave up 3 base runners in that first inning. One was on a fielder's choice, one a single, one a walk. Picked up his first strikeout though, and now a big swing and miss here on Michael DiTallo, who goes back to 1-1. DiTallo with a great game against the Kettleers the last time these two teams played, went 2 for 4. Now in the DH spot, the 1-1 pitch. He gets underneath it and flares it foul over our right shoulders out of play. So now down in the count 1-2, as we are located just behind home plate and to the right near the Kettleers on deck circle, pretty much looking right up the third base line. Volchko goes into his delivery once more, and the 1-2 is fouled off the netting just above our heads. As fans continue to pile in at McKeon Park, an all-metal grandstand above the home dugout on the third base side. Road grandstand in front of the Kettleers dugout as that one swung at and missed for strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Joey Volchko. Gets DiTallo to chase after a lone outside slider for the first out of the second.
Volchko's had the punch-out pitch working early on. Back-to-back strikeouts of Mason White and Michael DiTallo there, and it's been the breaking ball for Volchko, just getting those two hitters well out in front. And of course, you have that 97, 98 mile an hour fastball, but the ability to change speeds and location so crucial to Volchko's success.
From the windup, his first pitch to Dalton Bargo bounces just behind home plate, called a ball 1. So plenty of Cotuit fans sitting directly behind us and to our right until the Kettleers dugout starts on that first base side. Beyond there is the Kettleers bullpen, and it's all trees down the right field line and this entire outfield at McKeon Park. As the skies go from slight blue, starting to become overcast here overhead, and the lights will come on eventually here at McKeon Park, as that one's laced foul by Bargo to even the count at 1-1. So of course, this being one of the 7 parks where you don't have to worry about what happened last night, the game being called due to darkness after the top of the 6th inning. Kettleers captured their 11th win though. And now Volchko with the 1-1 pitch. Misses outside with the fastball. 2 balls, 1 strike. So Dalton Bargo gets his 5th appearance in a game this season for the Harbor Hawks. Has 2 hits so far. Now Volchko's 2-1 is another fastball up and away. 3 balls, 1 strike now.
Those last 2 fastballs from Volchko coming in at 98 and 97 miles an hour, so a lot of heat from the tall righty.
Shakes off one sign here from Jay, now brings the black glove in front of his face into the windup. He throws a breaking ball tipped into the glove of Jay for a strike 2. So the count now full to Bargo, and he is 1 strike away from picking up his 3rd straight strikeout. 1 gone in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Kettleers leading 2-0. Volchko from the windup, the 3-2. Bounced in there and a walk issued to Dalton Bargo. His 2nd of his young summer.
Bargo laid off a couple of tough pitches. Those 2 fastballs from Volchko right on the outside corner to the lefty Bargo, but lays off and works a walk. The 2nd free pass issued by Volchko.
So now here's Anthony Silva, 3rd baseman out of TCU. Went 0 for 2 against the Kettleers last time. Drew a pair of walks though. Volchko working from the stretch now will throw towards Thatch at first, and diving in safely is Dalton Bargo. So a lot of new faces on this Hyannis team, and some guys who already appeared for other Cape League teams. One being Jason Reitz, the starter for Hyannis, playing for YD, and now Anthony Silva takes low and outside, a called strike 1 to him. But he's been here this whole summer for Hyannis. This will be his 13th game played, batting just above 100. Righty on righty matchup with Volchko taking a look at first, and now he throws a high fastball, ticked straight back into the netting from Silva. Count 0-2. So Joey Volchko throwing the fastball, slider, curveball, and changeup. Highly touted player coming out of high school, but decided to head to Stanford this season, appearing in 20 games there, 6 of which were starts. Just under 43 innings pitched, allowed 41 hits, struck out 53 in that span. Averaged nearly 12 strikeouts per 9 innings. Now the 0-2. Silva watches it go by, backhanded by Jay. It goes to the left side towards the Hyannis on deck circle, and Dalton Bargo moves up into scoring position.
That eliminates the double play attempt for the Kettleers. There is now it's a runner in scoring position for the Harbor Hawks.
There are very tall right-handed throwers here today for the Harbor Hawks and Kettleers. Volchko standing at 6'4", 205. Now taking a look at second. The high leg kick home is swung at and missed for strike 3. Third strikeout of the afternoon for Joey Volchko. He puts away Anthony Silva, and there are 2 gone in the second.
That's what we've seen from Volchko early on this summer, just having the ability to blow the fastball and just mix in pretty breaking balls to really fool these hitters, and the ability to go from 98 miles an hour to 86 miles an hour, just really something special.
Josh Tate checks his swing at the first pitch he sees. It's in the dirt, blocked by Grant J. Count 1-0.
Even having the ability to throw a changeup at 90 miles an hour, just to see that same arm slot of where it comes out of a fastball really just slows the hitter down.
Yeah, really keeping them on their toes and to go along with the upper 90s fastball. Incredibly difficult to keep up with. He goes back to that here. It's a roller towards Naraki off of his glove as he was trying to forehand it. It kicks towards Tyler Cerny. And Naraki can't come up with that play, and they'll put the runners on the corners with 2 gone.
That's a rare miscue from Nolan Naraki at third base. Usually such a smooth player at the hot corner. Fielded a hard ground ball from Blake Cavill earlier. That really impressive stop, but this one just took his eye off it as the ground ball just evades his glove on the forehand.
Corners playing in, middle infielders back. There are 2 gone for the leadoff man, Kane Kepley, who takes a breaking ball at strike 1, down around his knees. He walked his first time up an inning ago. Caught at second on the fielder's choice. Volchko trying to escape this bottom of the second inning unscathed. Runner on first takes off. The pitch is a strike, and there's no throw down to second. An 0-2 count now on Kane Kepley, and Josh Tate snags the second base bag.
Tate has a lot of speed, swiped 27 bags this past season at Georgia Southern.
Now with 2 runners in scoring position, the 0-2 pitch is backhanded by Grant J in the dirt. Really nice play by Jay, who did allow 1 ball to get behind him earlier on in this inning, but no margin for error right now with 2 runners in scoring position, and he comes up with that one. But Volchko just looking for this finishing pitch on Kane Kepley. Went 0 for 3 last time against the Kettleers. Now the lefty awaits. Deep in the left of the batter's box as the 1-2 pitch bounces in once more. Good block by Grant J to keep it in front. Count now 2-2.
Those are 2 plays that usually go unnoticed at the end of games, but 2 excellent blocks by Grant J, putting his body on the line and keeping the balls in front of him. And we've seen wild pitches come back to hurt the Kettleers a lot this year, but Grant J making 2 huge stops.
Volchko set. The 2-2 offering. Kepley rolls it over, a slow roller towards the first base line. Volchko over to get it, bounces it to first, and it's blocked by Thatch, but not in time. So the run comes in and scores from third. They saw the Kettleers lead in half. It's 2-1.
That was a tough play for Joey Volchko coming off of the mound, fielding it with his bare hand. Really had to rush the throw because of the speed of Kane Kepley as he beats it out. Coming in to score was Dalton Bargo. Now it's runners on the corners here with 2 outs in the inning. Curious to see if they're going to give Kepley a hit or rule that an error on Volchko because the throw was low in the dirt to Thatch.
Yeah, there's no scoring decision just yet, but Kepley with a short lead at first, Josh Tate at third, and now this one's hammered into center field, but playable for Kian Vu, and he pulls that one down for out number 3. So the Harbor Hawks pick up their first run of the ball game. Dalton Bargo comes home to score after a 1-out walk. And now with a 2-1 lead, we'll send it to the top of the third inning. But before then, we'll check in with our sideline reporter, Adele Huffman, who has more.
Thanks, Joe. Tuesday marks the middle of the season. It's insane how quickly this has been flying by. But I spoke with Mikey Ebner before the game today, and he told us about a few key takeaways that he has, which are the amount of people he's met so far this summer and how quickly relationships are built on the Cape. And he said that watching everybody compete at such a high level just makes him realize how lucky he truly is to play in the Cape Cod League. And Alex and Joe, I was wondering when I was talking to Mikey, are there any key takeaways that you think have led to the Cats having so many wins thus far in the season?
Well, I mean, the offense has been able to step up earlier on in the season when they struggled through the first 4 games and then rattled off those 6 in a row. But, I mean, to kind of break down the schedule, it's a team that has played so well on the road. And I just think that's so impressive to have a great ERA, the only team with a sub-3 ERA on the road. And at home, it's a different story. But if you can really take care of your business, your job on the road, then I think that really sets you up well for the rest of the season because it's always easy to play at your home ballpark. You get to have more of a routine. You get to go through kind of the game day plans that you want to go through. On the road, it's completely different. So to be able to adapt and overcome under those circumstances, I think has benefited this team, and they've done so on the road better than anybody.
Definitely a great point that you make. And Adele, I think a key takeaway for me is actually the man that you spoke to. Michael Ebner, a guy who's been dominant out of the bullpen this year, a 3-0 record, hasn't allowed a hit through 11 innings, has struck out 12 batters, just allowed 3 walks the entire year. He's been excellent, and whenever Cotuit and Mike Roberts has called Ebner's number, he's delivered.
Absolutely. Those are two good takeaways, Joe and Alex. I'd say my takeaway is just whenever we come in a good mindset and the guys just seem pumped up before the game, there's no stopping them.
Yeah, that's definitely right. When you see these guys who are able to start to have fun with the game a lot and not just are here to play baseball, but to forge new relationships, friendships, and I think we're seeing that, and it's paying off on the field for sure.
Absolutely.
So Nolan Naraki will lead off this top of the 3rd inning. He took a strike 1 there from Jason Reitz, who starts his 3rd inning of work. Infield and outfield straight up for Naraki, who takes low and outside for a ball 1. So he gets his first start since Friday night at Chatham, went 0 for 2 before being pinch hit for by Luke Hansen. So we've only seen Hansen for a little bit. He's been on the roster for a few days now. But Naraki back into the lineup in his first start at the 9 hole. He flares this one into left field. Mason White charging in on it, but let it take 1 hop, and it's a leadoff single for Nolan Naraki.
That's a big hit for Naraki, a guy who's really been struggling over his last 6 games, just 2 for 22 during that stretch, but attacking early on Reitz and just flaring a ball off the end of his bat into left field in front of the left fielder, Mason White. And that has to feel good if you're Nolan Naraki.
That's another leadoff man for the Cats. They did that in the first inning, and now Grant Jay, the leadoff hitter, digs in. His second looks on Reitz. He checks his swing of the first pitch he sees. He did go around, says the home plate ump, and he's down on the count 0-1. So an 8-pitch at bat for Grant Jay the last time he was at the plate. He worked a walk and, of course, scored on Tanner Thatch's 2-run homer. Thatch awaits on deck as Jay works this 0-1 count. He awaits and chases after an upstairs fastball to go back at 2-0-2. Those are some of the swings that we've seen from Grant Jay at times. Other times when he has been able to lay off those. It's been good to see. We know he's been making plenty of adjustments with Mike Roberts with his swing so far this season. And now his reinsertion into the lineup has been great, but he goes after a low and outside breaking ball there to go down on strikes. The first strikeout of the day for Reitz, and it's the first out of this top of the 3rd.
Reed's doing a good job mixing locations there. Went with the high fastball against Grant Jay to make the count 0-2, and then just a soft off-speed pitch away that Jay waves through for the first out.
So now here's Tanner Thatch. With the runner on first, he goes after the first pitch he sees. It finds the dirt, and he's down in the count 0-1. So Thatch with a 1-0 count last night before his 5th homer of the season. Took a pitch low and inside, had to spin away from it. It was actually called a strike, though. Low sinker that he thought was a ball. Didn't get the call, and then he went on to tell Shane Patagna, one of the writers for the Kettleers after the game, that when you express some type of emotion like that, kind of like questioning a strike call, typically the pitcher is going to go right back to that same pitch. And now he lifts this one over the first baseman, down the first base line, but foul. So Thatch elevates the count to 0-2 now. But the pitcher at the time went back to that same pitch. Thatch was sitting on the same one, low and inside, and Got it at the same spot, put the barrel to it, and powered his 5th home run of the summer over the right field fence at Lowell Park, giving the Kettleers a go-ahead 8-7 lead. Would be the game-winning runs of the ball game. Now he gets that one in off of his hands and flares it high out of play on the first base side. It's 0-2 still. Thatch just continues to crush righties this season. Rocky stands on first. Now he takes the lead there. Thatch takes outside, and it's 1-2. And some great information from one of the other writers for the Kettleers, Connor Smith, doing the research and digging under the hood as he found out that Tanner Thatch, 32 home runs this year. Of course, that's combining his summer ball home runs with his college home runs up to 32. Only 4 other players in the country in college baseball have more. 1-2. Thatch goes after a high pitch and fouls it away. So pretty impressive stuff from Thatch this year.
Thatch just an excellent hitter and had really struggled, had a 1-for-16 stretch, but over his last 3 games has been dominant. And we've talked about his impact that he's had in the field. And now that his bat is picking up, just a key cog in this Cotuit order.
Reeds from the stretch. He throws a breaking ball that falls in at a called strike 3. Second strikeout of this 3rd inning for Reeds. Back-to-back Ks after giving up the leadoff single, and there are 2 gone.
And Thatch disagreed with that call, shook his head after he was punched out on the high breaking ball that was called right at the letter. So back-to-back Ks for Jason Reeds here.
Yeah, and a good response. This is exactly what he did the last time he gave up a hit. It was, of course, Tanner Thatch's 2-run homer. After that, 6 up, 6 down, 2 up, 2 down since the single to start off this frame. Brooks Bryan looks at a pitch low in the zone. It's 1-0. So Bryan is the new batter. He grounded out to first his last time up. And of course, making his return to this roster as the 1-0 pitch is outside. Now he's in the driver's seat once more. Playing for Team USA, and rightfully so after hitting .279 for the Trojans at Troy this past season. Split time between the outfield and as a catcher, but drove in 85 RBIs as a hitter. Big help for that, 18 homers. Now the 2-0, takes low and inside. That's a called strike 1 at 93. Jason Reeds throwing the fastball, changeup, and slider. Now the glove meets the red leather of his left mitt. The throw, it's a 2-1 pitch, low and outside. Naraki takes off, and he will beat out that throw from Bargo by far to pick up a stolen base for him. So he advances into scoring position with 2 gone.
That's the 2nd stolen base for Nolan Naraki this summer. Just got an excellent jump off of the righty, and now coming up in a big spot here is Bryan, 3-1 in the count, and now with a runner in scoring position.
Waves that bat just in front of his chest, an upright batting stance, and the 3-1 pitch. Bryan rolls that one to the first base side and foul. So Brooks Bryan with some new batting gloves as well, light blue, red trim around them. Stands up at the plate with a very upright stance as mentioned. His feet are pretty close together, no more than shoulder width apart, and holds that bat just in front of him. As the 3-2 is on its way, and it's up and away for ball 4. So the Kettleers will have 2 on and 2 out for Devin Taylor.
Good at bat worked by Bryan there. Count was full after the foul ball, and just patient eye from Bryan. That's something that we saw a lot from him early on before he departed for Team USA, a guy who's always patient at the dish and not afraid to take his base.
That is 4th walk of the summer. And now Devin Taylor, who can do that at an incredibly high clip as well, digs in. He rolls this one on the ground towards first. Blake Cavil is up with it, and he'll take it to the bag himself for a routine 3rd out to end the top of the 3rd inning. So the Kettleers leading off with a single. They were able to put a man on board with a walk. They'll end up leaving 2 on base, having getting 1 hit, no runs, and no errors for the Harbor Hawks. So Joey Volchko will return to the bump for the Kettleers in the home half of the 3rd inning. It's coming up next here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Since 1980, the O'Rourke family has been catering Cape Cod clam bakes, making your events delicious and memorable. Founded by Jake O'Rourke, Jake's Clam Bakes has become a beloved tradition, now carried on by his son, Dan. Choose from our menu options, and on the day of your clam bake, their crew will come to your site and steam a fresh, mouth-watering clam bake just for you. It's that easy. Call us at 833-252-6285 or visit our new takeout location at Building 6 on 3821 Route 28 in Marston's Mills. Email us at dan@jakesclambakes.com with your event details, number of guests, date, time, location, and any special requests like a raw bar, homemade desserts, or kids menu. Not catering? Try their takeout menu featuring lobster rolls, smash burgers, salads, sandwiches, and a smoothie bar. Jake's Clam Bakes, making Cape Cod gatherings unforgettable.
Escape the summer heat at Polar Cave Ice Cream Parlor, located on Route 28 in Mashpee, right at the Barnstable town line. Our creamy, homemade ice cream flavors will delight your taste buds. Plus, Kettleers kids get a free comb on home game days. Call us at 50.
So Blake Cavell will lead things off here in the bottom of the third inning for the Harbor Hawks. Welcome you back into the Ketts Radio Network. Joe Pratt, Alex Rocco are with you, Adele Huffman as well, Cam Christie on the controls. Joey Volchko dials in a first pitch slider at 86 miles an hour towards Cavell, who reached on a fielder's choice his last time up and is now behind in the count 0-1. An upright batting stance on the left side of the box. He awaits a fastball up and away. It's 1-1 now. So it's Blake Cavell getting his second looks on Joey Volchko, who's pitched so far 2 innings, has allowed 1 run. 2 hits for the Harbor Hawks so far, and now another breaking ball that turns low and inside, giving a 2-1 advantage towards Blake Cavell. Out of Western Kentucky, but before then playing a couple seasons at Northwest Florida State College. And now he takes down low once more, 3-1 the count. But one of the few internationals on this roster, Alex, playing down in the Australian Baseball League, of course being from Sydney, Australia, is Cavell. Now ahead in the count 3-1 as Volchko dials in a 3-1 pitch. That's in there for strike 2. So a full count here for Blake Cavell to start off this bottom of the third. Cotuit leads it 2-1. He goes into his windup and the pitch. It finds the dirt and it's low. Blake Cavell's headed to first for the second time today. And he leads off this bottom of the third with a walk.
Cavell just patient at the plate as Volchko, that's the third walk he's tossed here today. And another leadoff man on for the Harbor Hawks, their second time through 3 innings.
Yeah, the third walk issued today by Joey Volchko, but now he starts off Alex Lodis with a strike. He hit a single straight back up the middle his last time up against Volchko, facing a 2-strike count, but was able to extend the inning. And now the 0-1 pitch to him is a breaking ball that's just low and outside, barely misses there, and it's 1-1. So now the lights are on here at McKeon Park. Thick overcast clouds overhead. Alex Lodis gets under this one off the end of his bat, flares it towards Jaron Advincula, who into shallow right field is called off by Devin Taylor, who makes the catch for the first out.
Just weak contact off the bat of Alex Lodis as Devin Taylor does a good job calling off the second baseman, Jaron Advincula, who ran a long way for that ball. And when Taylor called him off, Advincula went on all fours, just getting out of the way of Taylor as Taylor makes the catch for the first out.
Hey, by any means necessary, right?
Exactly.
First pitch from Volchko to Mason White is tipped off of the end of his bat, straight back to the all-padded backstop. One of the bat boys will come out and grab that for Hyannis, wearing the double B on the back of his jersey, or as Jimmy Middleton calls him, 88. 0-1 pitch is in there for a called strike 2. You like that one? Credit to the star of 90 feet with Jimmy Middleton. Jimmy Middleton. 0-2 pitch rattles the cage of Grant J. It bounced in front of him, and the count's 1-2.
That doesn't shock me at all. That's hysterical, though.
Another good one. The umps are always stripes. Doesn't matter the sport. Referees, umpires, they're all stripes. 1-2 pitch from Volchko. Called strike 3. Mason White goes down on strikes for the second time today. And it is the 4th one total for Joey Volchko in his first start.
That's just an unhittable pitch from Joey Volchko there. 97 painted on the outside corner. Just nothing Mason White could do. So he goes down on strikes, one swinging, and now one looking.
Done a nice job at the middle part of this order has Volchko. 2 strikeouts on Mason White. Already a strikeout of Michael DiTallo, who takes a ball 1 outside. Jay was popped up out of the crouch there to look Blake Cavell back to first base. He led off this inning with a walk, but back-to-back outs for Joey Volchko since then. Down in the count, 1-0. Working from the stretch, infield and outfield straight up. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball low and away. 2-0 the count to DiTallo. Kettleers outfield playing straight up. Tanner Thatch holds the runner on at first. Nolan Naraki even with the bag at third. Cerny back at short. The 2-0 pitch draws a big swing and miss from Michael DiTallo, who chased after an 86-mile-an-hour breaking ball low and outside, so the righty sends the count back to 2-1. DiTallo getting his second start against the Kettleers. This is his 12th game played, and now goes after another breaking ball in the dirt. Comes up empty. It's 2-2. DiTallo coming off of a very strong season at Dallas Baptist this past season, and a .345 hitter, .517 slugging percentage, where he was the Conference USA second teamer there. Also made the Conference USA All-Tournament team. And now he goes after a low and outside breaking ball for strike 3, the 5th of the day for Joey Volchko. Back-to-back strikeouts to end this bottom of the 3rd inning. 3 up, 3 down since allowing the first runner on base. So the Kettleers still leading at 2-1 as we go to the top of the 4th inning here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Willowbend has been regarded as one of Cape Cod's and New England's premier private clubs and communities for over 25 years. Willowbend is a family-friendly community right here in Cotuit. They strive for a fun and relaxed lifestyle with good times and good friends. Discover all that.
With 30-plus years of personal injury litigation and insurance negotiation experience, Snow Law Firm is your go-to for wrongful injuries and rightful compensation. Snow Law Firm will secure the maximum amount of compensation available through settlement or trial. Schedule a free case evaluation by calling 508-477-7100.
When the unexpected happens, make sure you and your assets are insured appropriately. The agents at Leonard Insurance Agency can tailor coverage to meet your needs. Call 508-428-6921 to talk to their licensed agents today.
Since 1995, MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating has been your trusted commercial and residential plumbing contractor in Massachusetts. They specialize in new and rehabilitation work, gas and pipe fitting, climate control, heating, HVAC, oil burner work, boiler installation, radiant heat, forced hot water, air conditioning, and duct and sheet metal fabrication services. Founded and owned by Michael Pasic, a team of 9 skilled professionals is dedicated to providing top quality service. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating is registered with the Massachusetts Board of State Examiners of Plumbers and the Department of Public Safety. For all your plumbing and heating needs, contact MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating at 508-420-3429 or at 60 Clamshell Point Lane in Cotuit. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating, proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
Back from McKeon Park for the top of the 4th inning, Cotuit leading 2-1. Tyler Cerny will lead off against Jason Reitz, who works into his 4th inning of work, and the tall righty has allowed 2 runs, but it was just on that 2-run homer by Tanner Thatch in the 1st inning. Since then, has really settled things down. Tyler Cerny attacks the first pitch he sees and laces it down the third base line foul. Cerny a ground out to shortstop his last time up. This is 16th game played for the Cats, a .241 hitter. But in his last 2 games, 4 for 7 with a double. Now the 0-1 pitch, and the righty takes low and outside, bounces over the catcher's head, and it's 1-1.
After Reitz allowed the first two batters to reach base, he's retired 8 of the last 10 hitters for the Kettleers, just 2 reaching, Nolan Naraki on a single, and Brooks Bryan via the walk.
The 1-1. Cerny reaches out over the plate, rolls it towards his counterpart at short again. Up with it is Alex Lodis, and throwing on the infield grass in time to get Cerny at first for out number 1.
Once again, just good pitching from Reitz there, attacking Cerny low in the zone as he just pounds it on the ground for the second time today, as Alex Lodis busy over there at shortstop.
Yeah, a lot of ground balls worked by Jason Reitz in response to that home run. 2 base runners after that. As the first pitch to Max Ballou is low and inside, it'll get back to the padded backstop, 1-0. So Ballou grounding out to second his last time up, but has 6 in 6 of his 7 games has a hit. Infield and outfield playing straight up, slightly to the pull side for the lefty Ballou. The 1-0 gets underneath this one, sends a lazy fly towards right field. Kane Kepley tracking back, and in front of the fence, he'll pull down the second out.
Blue gave that ball a ride, just Kean Park holding it in as Kane Kepley making the catch. As once again, Jason Reitz just really settling in, finding his groove in this game. 55 pitches, 37 strikes as he's gone 3 2/3 so far today.
So here's Kian Vu. First start since Friday night at Chatham, where he launched a RBI single. Now he flares this one on the left side of the infield towards Lodis, and he pulls that one down in shallow left field. So a quick 3 up, 3 down, top of the 4th inning for the Kettleers, still leading 2-1 as we go to the home half of the 4th here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Cape Cod Coffee is a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers. They offer breakfast and lunch, as well as indoor and outdoor dining. Check out Cape Cod Coffee at one of their 3 locations, on Route 130, at Mashpee Commons, and at Wareham Commons, or on their website at capecodcoffee.com.
Operating on Cape Cod since 1988, Advanced Embroidery has garnered national awards in embroidery and screen printing. They offer screenings on golf shirts, Oxford shirts, jackets, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and bags. Advanced Embroidery will print your company's or team's logos anywhere. Thousands of satisfied customers can attest for Advanced Embroidery's attentive customer service, tight quality control, and quick turnaround time. They're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday on 38 Plant Road in Hyannis.
Beacon Gardens is a full-service garden center right here in Mashpee. They sell a variety of landscaping materials and seasonal produce to both consumers and landscaping professionals around the Barnstable Village. Stop by and see all Beacon Gardens has to offer at 182 West Barnstable Road in Austerville.
Joey Volchko returns to the mound for a 4th inning of work. He'll face 7, 8, and 9 for the Harbor Hawks here in this bottom of the 4th inning. Cotuit leading 2-1 with 2 runs in that first inning. Hyannis responding in the bottom of the 2nd with 1 run of their own, but each team with 2 hits and solid pitching performances on both sides for these teams. Alex?
It's been a good pitcher's duel here between Joey Volchko and Jason Reitz. A lot of strikeouts. Volchko with 5. Cotuit struck out just 2 times, but Volchko's really done a nice job commanding the zone with that fastball, getting ahead with it sitting anywhere between 96 to 98 miles an hour. And when you have a fastball at that high of velocity and also can throw a changeup in the low 90s and mix in a slider that sits around 86 miles an hour, it's a recipe for success for Volchko out on the mound. And he's found success early on today.
Brings the black glove in front of his face for the first pitch to Dalton Bargo, who takes outside for a ball 1-0. So as we were talking about earlier, Joey Volchko with a highly touted resume coming out of high school, attended Redwood High School, a 4-0 record and a 0.26 ERA in 27 innings as a senior. In that span, 67 strikeouts. Got a foul ball straight back by Bargo, and the count's now 1-1. Big reason for that is to why he's ranked as the number 3 prospect for the 2026 MLB draft by MLB.com. One of 8 guys to be given a first-round grade on that list. The 1-1 pitch, taken low and away by Bargo. It's 2-1. Had a 5.70 ERA this past season at Stanford, a big uptick from his .26 as a senior in high school, and that one's called a strike 2. 2-2 the count on Bargo, low and outside. 10 of his 20 appearances went scoreless this past season. Now the 2-2 pitch, Bargo stays alive, fouling that one off of Grant J. So the count will remain 2-2 to the left-handed hitter who reached on a walk his last time up and came around to score the only run for the Harbor Hawks today. Still trailing 2-1. From the windup, Volchko's pitch is outside and the count's full.
Bargo's worked deep in accounts today, saw 6 pitches in his first at-bat, have seen 6 pitches today, and really doing a nice job running up the pitch count on Joey Volchko.
Infield playing him back. The payoff pitch from Volchko is a breaking ball launched just past Jaron Advincula between him and Tanner Thatch and into right field for a base hit for Dalton Bargo, so he reaches first for the second straight at-bat.
Bargo just lining that right into right field on a pitch that was low in the zone, but the lefty turned on it and picks up a leadoff single.
Anthony Silva will dig in. He struck out his last time against Joey Volchko, who takes a look over at first and is now pitching from the stretch. Middle infielder's pinching the bag at second as that one is low and inside at 96. So as mentioned, a 5.7 ERA at Stanford this past season. One start against Texas Tech, he went 2 1/3 innings, gave up 9 earned runs on 7 hits. Also walked 5 and really ran into some trouble in that appearance as he throws over to Thatch and the runner's in safely. But eliminating that appearance would lower his ERA from 5.70 to just above 4.02. Would be 18 earned runs on the season. A difficult outing for him that time. Other than that, was stellar. Misses low and outside there, and it's a 2-0 count to Silva here. But when his team needed him most, he really stepped up big and pitched a gem against the number 6 ranked team in the country, Oregon State. Now the 2-0 pitch. Right down the heart of the plate for a called strike 1. 2-1 the count to Silva. It was a must-win game for Stanford against Oregon State in the Pac-12 baseball tournament. Volchko delivered 6 shutout innings with 9 strikeouts. Gave up just 2 hits in Stanford's 2-1 win over the Beavers. This one's flared off the end of the bat of Silva and into center field for a base hit. It takes one hop into the glove of Kian Vu, who relays that into Dalton Bargo, who stops at second, and they'll have runners on first and second to start off this bottom of the 4th inning.
Just back-to-back hits allowed by Volchko here. Just 4 hits. Hyannis came into this inning with 2, and now the bats are starting to come alive here against Joey Volchko.
So with that, Volchko's first start for the Kettleers is done. He gives up 2 hits in this bottom of the 4th inning, goes 3+ innings total, allowing 1 run on 4 hits, and we'll send it to a commercial break as a new pitcher is into the game here at McKeon Park. Don't go anywhere.
Since 1980, the O'Rourke family has been catering Cape Cod clam bakes, making your events delicious and memorable. Founded by Jake O'Rourke, Jake's Clam Bakes has become a beloved tradition, now carried on by his son, Dan. Choose from our menu options, and on the day of your clam bake, their crew will come to your site and steam a fresh, mouth-watering clam bake just for you. It's that easy. Call us at 833-252-6285 or visit our new takeout location at Building 6 on 3821 Route 28 in Marston's Mills. Email us at dan@jakesclambakes.com with your event details, number of guests, date, time, location, and any special requests like a raw bar, homemade desserts, or kids menu. Not catering? Try their takeout menu featuring lobster rolls, smash burgers, salads, sandwiches, and a smoothie bar. Jake's Clam Bakes, making Cape Cod gatherings unforgettable.
Coastal Rentals is the place to go for professional landscape and construction equipment. Whether you need tools and equipment for commercial use or for your own projects, Coastal Rentals has what you need. Purchasing gear is also available. Check out Coastal Rentals today.
For nearly 2 decades, Coastal Irrigation has proudly provided top-notch irrigation and landscape lighting services across Cape Cod. Starting with just a handful of customers in Cotuit, they now serve nearly all of the Cape. Upgrade your lawn care with their modern irrigation systems. No more dragging around hoses or worrying about watering while you're away. Their systems ensure your grass stays healthy and green effortlessly. Transform your home with Coastal Irrigation's landscape lighting services. Enhance your outdoor gatherings, improve safety, and boost curb appeal with their affordable, low-voltage lighting solutions. Illuminate your walkways and highlight architectural details to make your home shine. Contact Coastal Irrigation at 508-428-1529 or info@coastalirrigation.net. So the new pitcher into the game for the Kettleers in the midst of this bottom of the 4th inning, it's Hunter Watkins. And he will face Josh Tate, the 9-man in this order. Dalton Bargo led off this frame with a single. Anthony Silva followed that up with a single of his own. And that ended the day for Joey Volchko. So with runners on first and second, the corner is in. Watkins will take a look at second. No throw, though. So Josh Tate reaching his first time up on the error on third base. Nolan Naraki stands even with the bag at third there. Middle infielders playing back. Thatch also on the infield grass. Watkins from the stretch. Thinking about laying down the bunt is Tate, but it goes off the glove of Grant Jay, and both runners will move into scoring position. So that one just kicks off the webbing of the glove. Was that it?
Jay thought he had it in his glove, just took his eye off for a moment. Maybe the bunt attempt from Josh Tate distracted him, but it gets away down the first base line, allowing both the runners to move up. So an unfortunate start to Hunter Watkins' evening.
So now the middle infielders will move up. The entire Kettleers infield is in, trying to protect this 2-1 lead. Josh Tate awaits the 1-0 pitch. Watkins throws, and it's swatted away foul over our right shoulders and out of play. So just behind these all-wooden grandstands, there is a massive soccer field. Plenty of kids camped out there hoping a foul ball heads in their direction. That was a playable ball. Now a 1-1 count. Tate awaits. Takes a fastball low and away, and it's a 2-1 count now. So Hunter Watkins out of Grand Canyon, appearing in 18 games for the Lopes this past season. A 3.83 ERA, and recently announcing his transfer to Oklahoma State. The 2-1 pitch is flared just beyond first base. Tanner Thatch giving chase. He's called off by Advincula, and behind the first base bag, he makes the catch. Both runners will stay put, and that's a crucial first out of this 4th inning for Hunter Watkins and the Kets.
That was a towering pop-up by Josh Tate there, and a nice job by Jaron Advincula to call off Tanner Thatch as the wind started to blow that ball more toward Advincula over there at second base as he gets underneath it. You mentioned it, Joe. Such a crucial out for Hunter Watkins. Still with runners in scoring position here, and the ever-dangerous Kane Kepley.
Yeah, now back to the top of the order. Kepley has reached in both of his plate appearances today. The lefty takes a fastball up and away for ball 1. 93 on the gun from Hunter Watkins. Pitching against Kepley for the first time. He walked in the first, and RBI single in the second. Opportunity to drive in some more runs right here. The next pitch is fouled off of his front leg, and it's 1-1. So Watkins transferring to Oklahoma State this upcoming season, the 5th player that the Pokes have taken out of the transfer portal this season, 4 of which have been pitchers. One of those being Harrison Bodendorf, who's making the switch from Hawaii to Oklahoma State, also in the Kettleers bullpen. 1-1 pitch. Sends a chopper towards second. Up with it throwing to first is Tyler Cerny after looking the runner back to third. And he has the second out of this inning on the weak ground out of Kane Kepley.
That was a high looping throw from Tyler Cerny over there to first base, but did a nice job looking the runner back, Dalton Barco, over there at third base. And 2 big outs for Hunter Watkins here after coming in such a tough spot with runners on first and second and no out, but he's just 1 out away from getting out of this jam.
His first pitch to John Gazdar locates on the outer half for a called strike 1. Gazdar with 2 runners in scoring position here. Runner on second Anthony Silva on third, Dalton Bargo. 0-1, here's the pitch. He gets underneath it, sends a pop-up to Tanner Thatch in foul territory at first. Halfway in between the bag and the dugout, he will pull down the third out of this inning. So despite putting the first two men on base on a pair of singles, the Kettleers and Hunter Watkins are able to set down the Harbor Hawks in order. So they get 2 hits, leave both runners on base, and the Kettleers still lead it 2-1 as we go into the top of the 4th inning. And before then, we'll check in once more with our sideline reporter, Adele Huffman.
Thanks, Joe. Let's talk about Tanner Thatch playing well tonight. He is second in home runs in the Cape Cod League, and 7 out of his 8 last at-bats he has had hits. He's also had many amazing plays at first base that have gone unnoticed, so doing great as well out there. And during the beginning of the game, I got to ask him about his key takeaways now that we're at about the middle portion of the season, and he said he just wants to work on staying consistent and try not to be hot and cold and make sure that every game he's bringing consistency to the field. So, yeah. What do you guys think is a key takeaway that these guys can look forward to doing at each game?
Well, I think for Tanner Thatch, he's kind of returning to his old self from last year, who was very consistent. But one big difference is the long ball, as you just mentioned, 6 home runs on the summer, and powered, of course, by that banana and mayonnaise sandwich. So we need to get an update. Have you tried it yet?
I have not, and I don't think that's ever going to happen, Joe.
Right,
I think you should try it for the both of us.
Well, we got Alex to try a hot dog the other day in Chatham, so
maybe we'll all have to do it.
Do you
want to
try it?
See, I've already tried enough things. I think it's someone else's turn, but we have to ask Tanner to see if he's continuing to eat the sandwich. I mean, the long ball's definitely been a big part of his game. Like you guys mentioned, 6 home runs, and like Connor mentioned, 33 home runs this year for Tanner Thatch, but it must be the banana mayonnaise sandwich. It has to be.
It must be, Alex. That's the only answer.
I mean, it's a great point that Adele brings up, though, a guy who makes so many game-changing plays at first base, but even though at the time they might not seem like game-changing plays, but to have a guy with that figure at first, he can make a lot of plays look easy to most regular first basemen.
His 6'4" stature and even his ability to dig balls out of the dirt, we've seen that multiple times this year of Tanner Thatch saving plays just with his ability to scoop balls at first base. And of course, now the bat is coming along, just the complete package for Mike Roberts' squad.
So Jaron Advincula digs in. He'll be the first man to face Jason Reitz. In his 5th inning of work, he takes outside 1-0. Advincula in his last time up flew out to deep right field. Now he gets a hold of this one, shoots it through the gap in the middle of the infield, and he has himself a base hit to lead off this top of the 5th.
Jaron Advincula continues to rake at the dish, just sending that pitch right back where it came from Jason Reitz there. A hard line drive up the middle, and now you have a runner on first, another leadoff man on, and that's been key for the Kettleers. It's the 3rd time through 5 innings. They've put the leadoff man on, and now you have Nolan Naraki digging in.
Nolan Naraki, the righty, facing the righty Jason Reitz. Tall righty comes set with the red glove just above his belt. He throws on the slide step. Naraki lays down the bunt down the third base line. Silva charging in, throws to first on the run. It's in time to get Naraki there. But Advincula advances to second, and a perfect sacrifice bunt put on there by Naraki to advance the runner into scoring position with 1 out.
A really smart decision for Naraki to lay down the bunt here. We've talked about the success of the top of this Cotuit order. Now you have Grant Jay, who's reached on a walk today. Of course, Tanner Thatch with the 2-run home run, but these have been 2 of the top hitters in this Cotuit lineup, and now you have Advincula in scoring position.
Thick clouds continue to lower above those trees in the outfield as some fogginess over the left field fence creeps in. And that one's taken for a ball low and outside to Grant Jay, who is 0 for 1 today with a strikeout, also walked in the 1st inning. Now dealing with that runner on second base, a big opportunity to give the Kettleers more than just a 1-run lead. Infield playing to the pull side for the righty Jay. Now he shoots this one to the opposite field, twisting over the Kettleers bullpen and into the trees. So, of course, lights are on at McKeon Park. There is a Harbor Hawk nest on one of the foul poles just above the Kettleers bullpen. Pretty fitting. Reitz is ready. The 1-1 pitch. Jay is way out in front of that breaking ball. Appeared to be all over it, but now down in the count 1-2. So you've seen Grant Jay fall behind in a lot of counts, and a big reason to that is him chasing after pitches that are outside of the zone. It's something that he said he's trying to get better at as he comes up here this summer, trying to limit the strikeout numbers. The 1-2 pitch. He checks his swing, but went around about 60%, and that is his second strikeout of the day.
Pretty looking changeup there from Jason Reach, just getting Grant Jay well out in front. As, like you mentioned, back-to-back strikeouts for Grant Jay. Is we've seen this a lot from Jason Reach, putting on the leadoff man, but really bearing down with runners on base.
Yeah, 2 quick outs after that. Of course, there was the sacrifice bunt by Naraki, but Advincula still having to stay put on second, and that is going to be the day for Jason Reitz, who pitches 4 2/3 innings and pitched really well after allowing that 2-run homer to Tanner Thatch before he even recorded the first out of this ball game.
Yeah, like you mentioned, Joe, just really doing a good job bearing down and getting outs after that. Went on a run of where he retired the next 6 hitters, and just as soon as he put a runner on base, really just bear down, got those key outs, and a quality start for Jason Reitz.
So the Harbor Hawks will go to the bullpen for the first time today. There are 2 gone in this top of the 5th inning. Kettleers leading 2-1 and trying to add to that lead when we come back. Tanner Thatch will bat against the new arm for the Harbor Hawks. We'll let you know who it is when we return here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Since 1995, MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating has been your trusted commercial and residential plumbing contractor in Massachusetts. They specialize in new and rehabilitation work, gas and pipe fitting, climate control, heating, HVAC, oil burner work, boiler installation, radiant heat, forced hot water, air conditioning, and duct and sheet metal fabrication services. Founded and owned by Michael Pasic, a team of 9 skilled professionals is dedicated to providing top quality service. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating is registered with the Massachusetts Board of State Examiners of Plumbers and the Department of Public Safety. For all your plumbing and heating needs, contact MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating at 508-420-3429 or at 60 Clamshell Point Lane in Cotuit. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating, proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
Operating on Cape Cod since 1988, Advanced Embroidery has garnered national awards in embroidery and screen printing. They offer screenings on golf shirts, Oxford shirts, jackets, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and bags. Advanced Embroidery will print your company's or team's logos anywhere. Thousands of satisfied customers can attest for Advanced Embroidery's attentive customer service, tight quality control, and quick turnaround time. They're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday on 38 Plant Road in Hyannis. Coastal Rentals is the place to go for professional landscape and construction equipment. Whether you need tools and equipment for commercial use or for your own projects, Coastal Rentals has what you need. Purchasing gear is also available. Check out Coastal Rentals today.
So new pitchers in the game for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. He'll face Tanner Thatch, the lefty. It'll be a lefty-on-lefty matchup as Sean Fitzpatrick will get into his 6th game of the summer. He's out of Arizona State, made 27 appearances there, and had a 6.52 ERA for the Sun Devils. Throwing against the lefty Tanner Thatch, who's 1 for 2 with a 2-run homer, and now batting with the runner in scoring position and 2 gone. From the stretch, Fitzpatrick takes a look at second, and now from the 3/4 slot will dial in a 75-mile-an-hour slider for strike 1. So Advincula led off this inning with a single. 2 quick outs worked by Jason Reitz, who went 4 2/3 into this ball game, and now Fitzpatrick trying to end this 5th frame. The 0-1 pitch. Thatch gets ahead of that one and shoots it towards the Ketts bullpen. And now down on the count 0-2. So Thatch having to stay back on those low 70s sliders from Fitzpatrick. A 1.93 ERA through 5 appearances so far for the Harbor Hawks. Thatch resting the all-black barrel on his left shoulder, now lifts it up. The 0-2 pitch is upcoming from Patrick, who takes a long look at second, now throws. It clipped the jersey of Tanner Thatch, and he's on his way to first. So back-to-back games with a hit by pitch for Tanner Thatch, and they'll have runners on first and second for Brooks Bryan.
And Thatch stands so close to the plate there, but tried backing out of the way of that pitch from Fitzpatrick, just running too far in tight and just clipping the jersey. So a big spot here for Brooks Bryan with 2 runners on base.
Bryan 0 for 1 with a walk. And another lefty-on-lefty matchup as Fitzpatrick with the glove in front of his belt, looking at second, and now he throws home a breaking ball that falls beneath the zone, and Bryan in the driver's seat 1-0. Nothing but breaking balls so far from Sean Patrick. Throws the fastball, changeup, and slider. Now he leans in, gets the sign from Dalton Bargo. Infielders playing shifted to the pull side for Brooks Bryan. Third baseman Silva about 20 feet off the line at third. The 1-0 fouled straight back into the net. Count evens at 1-1 for Brooks Bryan, who's trying to make a difference in his first game since June 23rd. Batting in the DH spot today, entered this game with a .222 batting average. Runners are on first and second for Brooks Bryan. Fitzpatrick ready. Long look at second once more, and Bryan sends a twisting pop-up down the left field line, and that will be over the home grandstand and out of play. So Brooks Bryan having to battle once more here in his third plate appearance. Worked the count full his last time up in the third. But now facing a 1-2 count here in the first batter that Sean Fitzpatrick faced. He takes a long lean in. Now staring back at second. Runner being held on there. The throw is bounced in front of home plate. Brooks Bryan takes a look at it and elevates this count to 2-2.
Big block there by the catcher Bargo, keeping the low pitch in front of him. Of course, a lot of speed on second base with Jaron Advincula.
Yeah, that's true. Anything hit into the outfield grass could score Advincula from second. He would be the third run of this ball game. Cotuit leading 2-1 here in the top of the fifth. Fitzpatrick set the 2-2 once more. Bryan fouls it off of his front leg. So a couple USA guys back-to-back in this lineup, and of course fitting as they bring in the lefty Fitzpatrick into this game. Tanner Thatch, Brooks Bryan, Devin Taylor, 2, 3, and 4 in this lineup, all lefties. Fitzpatrick just 1 strike away from escaping this top of the fifth inning. The count is 2-2. Takes another long look in and now comes set on the first base side of the rubber. Takes a look back at Advincula, who has a big lead there. And the 2-2 pitch is swung at and missed. Strike 3. Brooks Bryan chases after a high fastball there from Sean Fitzpatrick, who ends this bottom of the fifth frame. So the Kettleers put 2 runners on, 1 in scoring position, are unable to bring any of them home. So they still lead it 2-1 as we go to the home half of the fifth inning. And when we return, my broadcast partner Alex Rocco will man the play-by-play from here on out on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Escape the summer heat at Polar Cave Ice Cream Parlor, located on Route 28 in Mashpee, right at the Barnstable town line. Our creamy, homemade ice cream flavors will delight your taste buds. Plus, Kettleers kids get a free cone on home game days. Call us at 508-477-5553 or email info@polarcave.com to learn more. Come chill with us and experience the coolest treats on Cape Cod.
When the unexpected happens, make sure you and your assets are insured appropriately. The agents at Leonard Insurance Agency can tailor coverage to meet your needs. Call 508-428-6921 to talk to their licensed agents today.
Discover a treasure of nearly 70,000 books at the Isaiah Thomas bookstore right here in Cotuit. Founded in 1969 and relocated to a restored 1860s Crocker family house in 1990. Their shop is a haven for book lovers of any age. Visit the Isaiah Thomas bookstore on 4632 Falmouth Road in Cotuit or contact at 508-428-2752.
Under the lights here at McKeon Park, Cotuit leads the Hyannis Harbor Hawks 2-1. I'm Alex Rocco, joined alongside by Joe Pratt and Adele Huffman. Hunter Watkins comes out to pitch. He came in relief of the starter for the Kettleers, Joey Volchko. Watkins really came in, did a nice job in that bottom of the fourth, getting 3 straight outs. The pop-up of Josh Tate, ground out to Kane Kepley, and the pop-up to John Gazdar, and now he gets set to face the 3, 4, 5 hitters here in the Harbor Hawk lineup. Digging in for his first at-bat against Watkins is the first baseman, Blake Cavill. Cavill today 0 for 1, reached on the fielder's choice, also walked, as the first pitch from Watkins spiked in the dirt for ball 1. Watkins threw just 9 pitches to get those 3 outs, 6 strikes. The tall righty out of the windup deals the 1-0 pitch. Slow chopper to the second baseman, Jaron Advincula. Fields on the forehand, makes the underhand flip to Tanner Thatch for the first out here in the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, those are some difficult ground balls to judge, but Jaron Advincula makes it look easy. Decides to charge in on that one. Fields the short hop on the forehand and close enough to first to deliver that underhand flip there. So an easy first out of the inning, and that puts to rest a stretch of 2 straight innings where the Harbor Hawks put the leadoff man on.
Now that brings up the shortstop, Alex Lodice. He's 1 for 2 today. Singled back in the first inning and flew out in his next at-bat. That comes in the 3rd. As he swings away at the first pitch from Watkins, fouling that straight back into the net behind home plate. Lodice got off to a hot start this summer. Came into today hitting .538 as Watkins deals the 0-1 pitch, laid off at the letters for ball 1. Lodice, this past year at Florida State, played in 62 games, hit .281. Drove in 44 runs, also blasted 9 home runs as Watkins falls behind him 2-1 after the curveball misses high and outside. The 2-1 on the way, big swing and a miss by the Harbor Hawks shortstop as the count is even at 2-2 here. 92 on the gun from Watkins. So a lot of velocity from the Kettleers pitching staff. Joey Volchko was sitting at 97 miles an hour as Lodice waves through the fastball from Hunter Watkins as he goes down on strikes, and quickly there's 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, an untouchable pitch thrown there by Watkins, who with his 6'8" frame is throwing from the top of the mountain, it seems, down to Alex Lodice, who goes back to 1 for 3 on the day, and he's done a great job against these 5 and 6 hitters. At least that was Joey Volchko. 4 strikeouts combined between them.
Just the 3rd appearance for Watkins this summer, last pitched against Falmouth. That coming on June 25th as Mason White waves through a first pitch changeup from Watkins. Watkins deals the 0-1 to the lefty. Thought about swinging, but lays off. Count is even at 1-1 here. Three-pitch mix for Hunter Watkins. Fastball, changeup, and a slider. Goes with the fastball here as White dribbles this slowly down the first base line, and he's now down on the count 1-2. Watkins has come out of the bullpen and retired the first 5 hitters he's faced. The 6'8" righty deals the 1-2 pitch. This one blasted into center field. Getting underneath it is Kien Vu, who makes the grab on the hard line drive from Mason White. A 1-2-3 bottom of the 5th for Hunter Watkins as we head to the top of the 6th with Cotuit leading 2-1 here on the Cats Radio Network.
This Saturday, the Kettleers are reuniting the 1995 champions by welcoming the championship-winning team back to Lowell Park. A blast from the past. Several of the players will take batting practice before a pregame ceremony honoring the team, followed by a group first pitch. The Kettleers will take on Chatham, the team Cotuit beat in 1995 for his 13th CCBL title. Join us in welcoming Kettleers history Saturday, July 13th at Lowell Park.
Cape Cod Coffee is a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers. They offer breakfast and lunch, as well as indoor and outdoor dining. Check out Cape Cod Coffee at one of their 3 locations, on Route 130, at Mashpee Commons, and at Wareham Commons, or on their website at capecodcoffee.com. Be a part of historic Lowell Park and support the Cotuit Kettleers by purchasing a paver engraved with your personal message to be placed in the new Walk of Champions. For more information, visit the Cotuit Kettleers.
4, 5, and 6 due up here for Cotuit in the top of the 6th. Devin Taylor set to lead things off. He finds himself 0 for 2, looking for his first hit coming back from the USA national team. Was 0 for 2 yesterday. Did bring in an RBI in Cotuit's 8-7 victory over the Bourne Braves. Had a sac fly. Joe, that was just a crazy game yesterday. In an inning and a half, 13 runs scored by the 2 squads as Sean Fitzpatrick starts out Taylor with an off-speed pitch outside for ball 1.
Yeah, it was amazing. Cotuit with just 15 runs scored throughout their first 4 games in July to that point. And then, as you mentioned, over half of that in just half of a game.
Taylor lays off on the 89-mile-an-hour fastball, but that's called a strike, so the count is even at 1-1. Massive victory for the Kets. They're now 2-3 in the month of July, so is Hyannis. As the lefty deals to Taylor, long winding foul ball that goes out of play, so he's now down on the count 1-2 to begin the inning. Lefty-lefty matchup here. 6 lefties in the Kettleers lineup. One of the 3 righties standing in the on-deck circle, that's Tyler Cerny. Fitzpatrick kicks and deals the 1-2 pitch, fouled away once more by Taylor. Taylor this summer, coming into today, hitting .278 through 7 games. Does have 2 extra base hits on the campaign, a triple and a home run, and has brought in 2 RBIs. The 1-2 pitch on the way, swing and a miss, he got him. Beautiful off-speed pitch by Sean Fitzpatrick as Devin Taylor set down on strikes for the first time today.
Yeah, pretty breaking ball there from Sean Fitzpatrick, and now the only 2 outs he's gotten have been on swinging Ks. Of course, against these lefties in the lineup, Brooks Bryan, now Devin Taylor, and this will be the first righty he faces in Tyler Cerny.
Cerny today 0 for 2 with a pair of groundouts to the shortstop Alex Lodis, one coming in the first and the other in the fourth. First pitch fastball laid off high and outside to the Kettleer shortstop. Cerny swinging a hot bat in the last 2 games. He's 4 for 7. Double and an RBI, and that broke a 2 for 25 stretch as the 1-0 offering in and out of the glove of the catcher Dalton Bargo. So the count is 2-0. Fitzpatrick throwing a lot of strikes. 10 strikes through 16 pitches. As the 2-0 pitch fouled straight back off the bat of Cerny, just missing that pitch and looked frustrated after that swing.
Yeah, he did. He just barely missed it, and it was low and outside, a well-located pitch by Fitzpatrick, and that's exactly what you want a guy to do when you come in relief, is throw a lot of strikes and be efficient out there, and he's done just that so far.
Cerny leads the Kettleers in doubles this summer with 4. Hit his team leading 4th yesterday as an off-speed pitch fools Cerny there. Well out in front, and the count is even at 2-2.
Yeah, he just worked that one off the fastball that he just got low and outside, dips beneath the zone, and Cerny can't hold back.
Fitzpatrick, set glove at his belt, kicks and deals the 2-2 pitch. Low and inside, laid off by Cerny as he works the count full, something that he does incredibly well this summer. Always see Tyler Cerny, Tanner Thatch working deep in accounts, and Cerny doing that here with 1 out in the 6th as he hits this one in the right center field gap. Charging it is the center fielder Josh Tate, who makes the play for out number 2. So Tyler Cerny gave it a ride, but Tate gets underneath it for the second out.
You know, it's a good point that you bring up. Tyler Cerny, Tanner Thatch really doing a great job of working counts after guys who were on this roster, one being Max Ballou and the other being Devin Taylor, of course, being with Team USA. Those are both guys who work deep into counts, and even Max Ballou with 4 walks with the national team the last couple weeks. And it's great to have guys in the lineup back today and in these past few games, who can see the ball really well, and it's made a difference so far.
Blue first pitch fastball nearly drills him as he has to back out of the way off after the 90-mile-an-hour fastball from Fitzpatrick. The Texas slugger 0 for 2 today. With a ground out to the second baseman John Gazdar and a fly out to the right fielder Kane Kepley, those coming in the second and fourth innings. As he lays off on the next offering from Fitzpatrick outside, so the count is 2-2 or 2-0. Blue has reached in every game he's played so far for the Kettleers, that being 7. As the lefty-lefty matchup, Blue fouls this straight back into the netting behind home plate. 6 hits and 26 at-bats for Blue. Does have a double and 3 RBIs, 2 of which came yesterday after his 2 RBI single against the Braves. Fitzpatrick deals the 2-1 pitch at the letters, laid off for ball 3, so Blue finds himself in a hitter's count up 3-1. Started off the year at Texas 0 for 11. And after that, went on a 15 for 34 stretch as he looks at a pitch low at the knees. He thought it was ball 4, but it was called a strike by the home plate umpire John Budka. So now the count is full with 2 outs in the inning. Fitzpatrick looking for a 1-2-3 top of the 6th. Cotuit still controls its 2-1 lead over the Harbor Hawks. The payoff pitch, swing and a miss, he got him. Second strikeout of the inning for Sean Fitzpatrick, and the third of the ballgame as he works a 1-2-3 top of the 6th. We head to the bottom half of the inning with the Kettleers leading 2-1 here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Beacon Gardens is a full-service garden center right here in Mashpee. They sell a variety of landscaping materials and seasonal produce to both consumers and landscaping professionals around the Barnstable Village. Stop by and see all Beacon Gardens has to offer at 182 West Barnstable Road in Austerville.
Operating on Cape Cod since 1988, Advanced Embroidery has garnered national awards in embroidery and screen printing. They offer screenings on golf shirts, Oxford shirts, jackets, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and bags. Advanced Embroidery will print your company's or team's logos anywhere. Thousands of satisfied customers can attest for Advanced Embroidery's attentive customer service, tight quality control, and quick turnaround time. They're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday on 38 Plant Road in Hyannis. Coastal Rentals is the place to go for professional landscape and construction equipment. Whether you need tools and equipment for commercial use or for your own projects, Coastal Rentals has what you need. Purchasing gear is also available. Check out Coastal Rentals today.
Hunter Watkins returns to the mound here at McKeon Park, and he's been dominant so far out of the bullpen. Has gone 2 innings, hasn't allowed a hit, hasn't walked a batter, and has struck out 1, tossing 20 pitches, 13 for strikes, as he gets set to face the 6, 7, and 8 hitters in this Harbor Hawk lineup. And Joe, we've seen this a lot from this Cotuit bullpen, coming in, throwing strikes, and getting quick outs.
Yeah, it's massive for the Kettleers. It seems like all they really need to do is get to that 6th inning, because when they have a lead after the 6th, they're 7-1, and a big reason for that is their great bullpen performance. I mean, 4.17 ERA after the 7th inning. That ranks 5th in the CCBL, but for the Kettleers to have a better pitching staff in the second half of the game than the first half of the game is massive. It just shows you whoever has the bullpen can win the game.
We saw that last night with Michael Ebner coming in, tossing 2 shutout innings against the Braves, striking out 4. It's Michael Detallo. Looks at a first pitch fastball spiked in the dirt from Watkins. Detallo today, he's 0 for 2 with a pair of swinging strikeouts. But had success against the Kettleers the first time these two teams squared off, as he hits this one on a rope into the left center field gap, cut off by the center fielder Kian Vu, who rifles it in to the cutoff man Tyler Cerny. But Michael Detallo reaches for the first time today with a leadoff single.
Yeah, 2 for 4 was last time against the Kettleers. Now 3 for 7. And that one hit hard off the bat and to left center field. Of course, the outfield here at McKeon Park being called the launch pad for the amount of crazy bounces and hops that you can get. I remember being here one time last year. A ball bounces in front of the center fielder on a routine bloop single, and it goes over his head, led to a triple. So got to pay attention here at McKeon Park.
Pickoff move. Tatalo back in standing. That's just a crazy play, Joe.
Yeah, it's nuts. I mean, some crazy, crazy hops that you can get at this ball field.
Righty-lefty matchup here as Dalton Bargo, the catcher, digs in. He's 1 for 1 today, swinging at the first pitch. Grounds that right at the Kettleer dugout on the first base line.
Of course, always important to note that a lot of teams in this league playing on high school fields and city fields and things like that. So the upkeeping isn't always consistent throughout the 10 fields.
Watkins, 91-mile-an-hour fastball, fouled straight back into the net as Bargo quickly down on the count 0-2 here. Bargo playing his first campaign at Tennessee this past year, where he hit .280 in 50 games. Transferred from Missouri, so staying in the SEC is Bargo. As the 0-2 pitch hit deep into right field, getting underneath it is Devin Taylor after the hard line drive from Dalton Bargo. So Taylor positioned well. Fields that, just having to move a couple of steps as it's allowed out number 1 here in the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, you said it best. On a line into the glove of Devin Taylor in right field to get Dalton Bargo for the first time today. Had a pretty solid day at the plate. A walk and a single has so far been the toughest out in this lineup, and another tough out here is Anthony Silva.
Silva today 1 for 2 with a strikeout and a single. That single coming in his last at-bat in the 4th inning. Another pickoff move. Tatalo back in safely after a dive. Righty-righty matchup here against the infielder. Getting the start at third base today as Watkins begins him with a first pitch, off-speed pitch laid off for ball 1. Well outside. This past year at TCU, hit .268, drove in 33 runs, smacked 10 doubles, also swiped 13 bags, so doing a little bit of everything is Silva. The 1-0 pitch, fouled straight back into the net. Joe, we've seen this a lot of college players teaming up or playing against each other here on the Cape, but Silva has played with some of the former Kettleers last summer. Played with Max Ballou and Hunter Watkins, so 2 former teammates squaring up here. The 1-1 pitch, looked at for strike 2. Watkins' 92-mile-an-hour fastball on the outside corner. They played last summer with the Santa Barbara Foresters in the California Collegiate League. Silva was 4 for 17 as Watkins nearly punches him out. Silva checked his swing. The appeal down to first base. He did not go around. So the count is even at 2-2 here. Time is called on the play.
Yeah, a couple different Cape Leaguers on that Santa Barbara Foresters roster in 2023. Of course, we've seen Sean Youngerman for the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox pitch against the Kettleers a few times, also playing with Watkins.
This one hit up the middle. Coming on is the shortstop Tyler Cerny, but it evades his glove, goes into center field. Charging in is Kian Vu as a miscommunication between Tyler Cerny and Jaron Advincula allows Anthony Silva to reach. Michael Tatalo motors up to third. So it's runners on second and third with just 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, just some miscommunication there on a high chopper that was over the head of Hunter Watkins on the mound, which, of course, a 12-inch or 2-foot mound and then a 6'8" guy. It's a pretty high chop and a difficult play to field in the infield grass for Tyler Cerny and or Jaron Advincula, but you have to assume that Cerny, with the momentum moving towards first base, likely has a easier play on that ball, but nonetheless, they're going to have to deal with 2 runners in scoring position. The Harbor Hawks will be threatening, and Cotuit trying to protect this 2-1 lead, and that'll draw the second pitching change of the day for Mike Roberts.
So after the miscommunication between Jaron Advincula and Tyler Cerny, Hunter Watkins' day is done. We will step aside for a quick commercial break here on the Kettleers Radio Network. Stay tuned for more.
Since 1980, the O'Rourke family has been catering Cape Cod clam bakes, making your events delicious and memorable. Founded by Jake O'Rourke, Jake's Clam Bakes has become a beloved tradition, now carried on by his son, Dan. Choose from our menu options, and on the day of your clam bake, their crew will come to your site and steam a fresh, mouth-watering clam bake just for you. It's that easy. Call us at 833-252-6285 or visit our new takeout location at Building 6 on 3821 Route 28 in Marston's Mills. Email us at dan@jakesclambakes.com with your event details, number of guests, date, time, location, and any special requests like a raw bar, homemade desserts, or kids menu. Not catering? Try their takeout menu featuring lobster rolls, smash burgers, salads, sandwiches, and a smoothie bar. Jake's Clam Bakes, making Cape Cod gatherings unforgettable.
Beacon Gardens is a full-service garden center right here in Mashpee. They sell a variety of landscaping materials and seasonal produce to both consumers and landscaping professionals around the Barnstable Village. Stop by and see all Beacon Gardens has to offer at 182 West Barnstable Road in Austerville.
Operating on Cape Cod since 1988, Advanced Embroidery has garnered national awards in embroidery and screen printing. They offer screenings on golf shirts, Oxford shirts, jackets, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and bags. Advanced Embroidery will print your company's or team's logos anywhere. Thousands of satisfied customers can attest for Advanced Embroidery's attentive customer service, tight quality control, and quick turnaround time. They're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday on 38 Plant Road in Hyannis.
The new arm for the Cotuit Kettleers is Christian Becerra. He enters in a tough spot with runners on second and third, just one out in the inning after Anthony Silva was credited with a double, as that just evaded the gloves of Tyler Cerny and Jaron Advincula and got through into center field. So Michael DeTalo, he led off this inning with a single. It was a fly out to right field, actually more of a line out off the bat of Dalton Bargo to Devin Taylor out in right field, and then, of course, the double by Anthony Silva. So that ends the day for Hunter Watkins. Watkins goes 2 1/3 innings. It's allowed 2 hits. Both of the runners are his responsibility. Did not walk a batter and struck out one as Christian Becerra enters as he faces the 9-man in this Hyannis order. It's Josh Tate.
Well, this is a big moment here for Christian Becerra. Dealing with 2 runners in scoring position, 1 out in the frame. The Kettleers will bring their entire infield in as the fog rolls in above McKeon Park.
Just a third game this summer for Josh Tate with the Harbor Hawks. He's 0 for 2 today, reached on an error back in the second inning and popped up to Jaron Advincula in the fourth. Becerra starts him out with a first pitch strike as Tate waves through it. The second appearance for Becerra this summer. It was a 4.5 ERA, went 2 innings, allowed 2 hits, 1 earned run, walked a batter, and struck out 3. The 0-1 pitch, breaking ball looked at for strike 2 as Becerra quickly gets ahead of the center fielder Tate. 82 on the gun. Righty-righty matchup here. Becerra played for the Harbor Hawks last summer, making 2 appearances at a 6.75 ERA. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, he got him. Christian Becerra comes out of the bullpen and records the strikeout of Josh Tate, a crucial second out of the inning. As Hyannis heads back to the top of their order, it's Kane Kepley.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good night from Christian Becerra. 3 strikes right down the heart of the plate, and he picks up a massive strikeout, a massive second out of this inning, and the entire Kettleers infield can step back into normal depth.
The third baseman, Nolan Araki, still in on the grass. The rest of the infield back at normal depth as Kane Kepley gives this one a ride. Deep center field. Back on the track is Kian Vu, who leaps up and makes the play. Kane Kepley gave that ball a ride. Kian Vu got on his high horse to make a crucial third out of the inning, stranding runners on second and third. So Christian Becerra comes out of the bullpen, gets the strikeout of Josh Tate and the long flyout of Kane Kepley. Just excellent pitching right there from Cotuit. And we'll have more on the Kettleers pitching staff and a jersey change with Adela Huffman.
Thanks, Alex. Yes, let's talk about the Barnstable Patriot Cup, which is our friendly competition between two teams in the Barnstable Village, Hyannis and Cotuit. The score right now is 1-0. Cotuit with the 1 win, and the score right now in the game 2-1. So hopefully we can bring in another win for Cotuit this season. This friendly competition is a great motivator for both teams, but I think the best part about this competition is that it shows the impact that summer ball has on the community and how it's more than just a game out there for these guys. These teams truly create families in the communities, and fans all over the Cape come together to watch these games. So it's super special. And Joe, Alex, I don't really know if there's a great way to segue to this, but before the game, Hunter Watkins, bird poop, switched up his jersey, so it was a little confusing out there. He usually is number 49, today playing number 44. You know, hopefully that wears off on the rest of the team and we have some good luck going into the rest of the game.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, Alex, you brought it up. You said anytime a bird poops on you.
It's usually good luck, and I'd say it was good luck for Hunter Watkins. Came in through 2 1/3 innings pitched, allowed just 2 hits, and of course the long fly ball off the bat of Kane Kepley that was hauled in by Kian Vu kept it just a 2-1 game, and both of those runners, if they came around to score, would have been charged to Hunter Watkins. So definitely lucky there that the ball stayed in the park here at McKeon Park. But just a crazy pregame of switching jerseys and everything. Haven't seen that this summer.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to talk to him tomorrow possibly about,
yeah.
you know, that incident and if it got him prepared, you know, for today's game.
Maybe Tuesday because tomorrow is off, but yes.
Day.
Now it's Kian Vu digging in after his excellent catch in center field as Fitzpatrick starts him out with a first pitch strike. Lefty-lefty matchup here to begin the top of the 7th. Cotuit looking for win number 12 on the year as they currently have a 2-1 advantage over Hyannis. The 0-1, Vu, long fly ball down the third base line. Excellent stuff from Adele once again on the Barnstable Patriot Cup, and she made a really good point of this series brings people together, and another large crowd here at McKeon Park. Fans down the third base line, first base line, all the way in left field on some lawn chairs. As the 0-2 pitch to Vu, thought about swinging, holds back. The appeal down to third base, Vu did not go.
Oh, well, it's great. I mean, you probably have some of the most passionate fan bases in the entire league right here in the town of Barnstable with Hyannis and Cotuit going at it, and it's been great to watch.
The 1-2 to Vu. Chop slowly, back, fielded by the pitcher Fitzpatrick. His throw in time to nab Vu. So a nice play by Sean Fitzpatrick out on the mound with the stab, robbing Kian Vu of what could have been his first hit of the contest.
Yeah, difficult day at the plate. He's put the ball in play each of his 3 plate appearances. Still looking for that first hit, as you mentioned, but playing a great center field as we just saw to complete that 6th inning, tracking way back to the fence to pull down the 3rd out and strand 2 runners in scoring position for the Harbor Hawks.
Now it's Jaron Advincula. Advincula 1 for 2 today. Singled in his last at bat. Hits this one slowly on the ground to the shortstop or second baseman, Gazdar. His throw in time to nab Advincula. So quickly 2 outs here in the top of the 7th after back-to-back groundouts.
Yeah, and he still makes Gazdar rush a little bit more than he would against any average player running up that first base line, but Advincula trying to beat it out once more. He's unable to on a nice play by Gazdar, and 2 quick outs for Fitzpatrick, who's done a really nice job after hitting the first batter he faced.
Now it's the 9th man in the Cotuit order, Nolan Araki. First pitch to him, looked at for strike 1, low on the inside corner. Araki 1 for 1 today. That was a much-needed hit, that coming back in the top of the 3rd, that led off the 3rd inning. Just a single, broke a 2 for 22 stretch for Naraki. Also laid down a sac bunt as the 1-0 pitch, or 0-1 pitch, looked at on the inside corner for ball 1. Count is even at 1-1. 89 on the gun from the lefty Fitzpatrick. Righty-lefty matchup here as the 1-1, Naraki goes around on the swing. High fastball from Fitzpatrick there. as the count moves to 1-2. Fitzpatrick, the Arizona State product here, looking to continue to blank this Kettleers lineup. High fastball, got him swinging. Sean Fitzpatrick elevates the fastball on Nolan Araki as he goes down on strikes, as it's once again another 1-2-3 inning for Sean Fitzpatrick as we head to the bottom half of the inning, with Cotuit still leading 2-1 here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Escape the summer heat at Polar Cave Ice Cream Parlor, located on Route 28 in Mashpee, right at the Barnstable town line. Our creamy, homemade ice cream flavors will delight your taste buds. Plus, Kettleers kids get a free cone on home game days. Call us at 508-477-5553 or email info@polarcave.com to learn more. Come chill with us and experience the coolest treats on Cape Cod.
When the unexpected happens, make sure you and your assets are insured appropriately. The agents at Leonard Insurance Agency can tailor coverage to meet your needs. Call 508-428-6921 to talk to their licensed agents today.
Since 1995, MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating has been your trusted commercial and residential plumbing contractor in Massachusetts. They specialize in new and rehabilitation work, gas and pipe fitting, climate control, heating, HVAC, oil burner work, boiler installation, radiant heat, forced hot water, air conditioning, and duct and sheet metal fabrication services. Founded and owned by Michael Pasic, a team of 9 skilled professionals is dedicated to providing top quality service. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating is registered with the Massachusetts Board of State Examiners of Plumbers and the Department of Public Safety. For all your plumbing and heating needs, contact MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating at 508-420-3429 or at 60 Clamshell Point Lane in Cotuit. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating, proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
A pitcher's duel ongoing here at McKeon Park. The Kettleers lead the Harbor Hawks 2-1 here in the bottom of the 7th. I'm Alex Rocco, joined alongside by Joe Pratt and Adele Huffman. As it's the 2-3-4 hitters due up for Hyannis. Leading things off is John Gazdar. Gazdar came into today an ultra-productive 17 RBIs in 17 games this summer. Hitting .312, also has blasted 2 home runs. But he's 0 for 3 today as Becerra starts him out with a first pitch that's lined right back where it came from into center field. So Gazdar records hit number 1 as Hyannis has the leadoff man on.
Yeah, Gazdar's 20th hit of the season continues to swing a hot bat, entering this game batting at a .312 clip. 2 home runs so far on the season and wasting no time there against Becerra to notch that first hit of the ball game.
Becerra came on in relief of Hunter Watkins. Came in with runners on second and third and 1 out and got a strikeout of Josh Tate and a long fly ball that was hauled in by the center fielder Kian Vu to strand runners on second and third. And Joe, that's something that Hyannis has really struggled in today, as it's the left-handed hitting first baseman Blake Cavill digging in. Pickoff move, Gazdar back in safely. But Hyannis today 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position. They've left 9 on base.
Yeah, and 5 of which have been left in scoring position. That's just a testament to how great these relievers for the Kettleers have been, being Hunter Watkins and now Christian Becerra.
Becerra out of the stretch, another pickoff move hauled in by the first baseman Tanner Thatch on a low throw. Gazdar back in standing.
Both of these guys entering the game with 2 runners on base and stranded all 4 of them.
Kettleers bullpen continuing to provide them energy as Cavill goes for the bunt attempt, misses. As the new catcher, Cannon Peebles. Actually, it's still Grand J. Cannon Peebles was taking warm-ups.
Yeah, just warming up. Dude, he was in full gear, though.
Usually you don't see that with warm-up catchers. They don't come out in full gear, but Cannon Peebles making sure he's protected as the curveball laid off from Cavill. Count is even at 1-1. Still Grand J, though. He's set to lead things off in the top of the 8th. He's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts and also has walked, is Jay. Came in to score on the 2-run home run by Tanner Thatch. Those are the only 2 runs for Cotuit today. As the 1-1 pitch, high off-speed pitch from Becerra there, laid off by Cavill, but it's called a strike 2. Becerra working out of the stretch here. Glove set at his chest. Gazdar leads off first base. The 1-2 pitch, foul tipped into the glove of Grant J. as Cavill goes down on strikes. The second strikeout of the contest for Christian Becerra, and the first out here in the bottom of the 7th.
Well, you want to bring in a guy in the game who can throw a lot of strikes, pick up some strikeouts. Christian Becerra can do exactly that. 15 strikeouts to just 14 walks this past season at Cal. And much similarly to Hunter Watkins, who kind of works at a similar clip as well. So needless to say, these are 2 strike throwers out of the Kettleers bullpen today, and they've been following through with that.
Now it's the shortstop Alex Lodis who swings away at the first pitch, fouls that into the net just to our left. Lodis today 1 for 3 with a strikeout. Singled in his first at bat back in the bottom of the first, then a flyout, and the strikeout. The 0-1 pitch, off-speed pitch, looked at the letters for strike 2. So Becerra quickly gets ahead of Lodis here. That's something that the Kettleers have done a lot tonight, getting ahead of Hyannis, throwing first pitch strikes. Gazdar, the short lead off first base. Becerra, glove set at his chest, long look into home. Pitch clock reads 3. Deals at 2, high fastball, gloved by Jay. Jay had to pop up out of his stance, but corrals that in. 93 on the gun from Becerra there. Really brought up the velocity. But Lodis laid off on the high fastball. The 1-2 pitch, fouled straight back into the net once more.
Yeah, fastball's got some fuzz on it, and maybe you wouldn't think that when you're staring at a 6'1", 170-pound figure, but 93 on the gun with the last one, that one in the upper 80s, and trying to get the finishing pitch on Alex Lodis.
Lodis played this past season at Florida State, his first season with the Seminoles. The 1-2 pitch to the shortstop. Fastball taken outside for ball 2. That evens the count at 2-2. Time on the play as Becerra gets a new baseball. We've seen Christian Becerra come out of the bullpen today and throw a lot of strikes. 14 pitches through an inning, has struck out 2 batters, 11 strikes. Has allowed just the 1 single to John Gazdar, who leads off first. As this one flared up the middle, that'll get through for another single. So it's runners on first and second as Alex Lodis notches his second single of the day, as he's now 2 for 4. There's runners on first and second, still with 1 out.
Well, one thing Hyannis has had no shortage of is base runners. 2 base runners on in this inning. They did that exactly the same way in the 6th frame. And it looks like there is somebody warming up down in the Kettleers bullpen. It's tough to tell. There's not too much space down there, and from our view, it's really hard to tell, but we'll see. And Becerra remains out there with 1 gone.
First pitch to Mason White, called to strike number 1. White today 0 for 3. Strikeout swinging in his first at bat. That ended the first inning. Struck out looking in the 3rd and flew out to Kian Vu in center. That coming back in the 5th, but comes up in a big spot here with runners on first and second. Hits a high towering fly ball into deep center field. Vu backing up, makes the play for the second out. Tagging is Gazdar off second. The cutoff man is Tyler Cerny. His throw does not go to 3rd, so it's a long fly ball off the bat of Mason White. As Gazdar tags up, he stands on 3rd. Staying put at first base is Alex Lodis, but there's 2 outs in the inning.
Yeah, tough start to the day for Mason White, but in his last 2 plate appearances has put a charge into both of the balls that he put in play. One a line drive to center field, and then that one right there, a deep fly ball to center field, advancing 1 runner to just 90 feet away, but Becerra is 1 out away from escaping this 7th frame.
It's Michael DiTallo. First pitch from Becerra, low in the dirt, kept in front by Grant J. Righty-righty matchup here. Count is 1-0. DiTallo 1 for 3 today. Singled in his last at-bat just an inning ago. He was stranded on 3rd. Also has struck out swinging twice. Hyannis, 1 run on 8 hits. Cotuit, 2 runs on 3 hits, and they have committed an error. This one flared into center field as Michael DiTallo evens the score here at 2. Advancing to third is Alex Lodis. That gets behind Nolan Araki. Lodis coming home. The throw to the plate gets away from Grant J. Cotuit throwing the baseball around as standing on third base is Michael DiTallo, and just a wacky play gives Hyannis a 3-2 lead here in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, well, it was Kian Vu to field that ball in center field, maybe trying to do a little bit too much and catch the second runner sliding into third base. But that one bounced in a couple times, and it was a difficult ball to field for Nolan Naraki, so it bounces off the base of the Hyannis dugout. And Becerra was the only one to cover the play there and sent another bouncing ball towards Grant J. And as you mentioned, just throwing the ball all over the place here. And Hyannis, now with the lead, has a chance to extend it, still with 2 gone and the runner at third.
So now it's Dalton Bargo as Michael DiTallo stands just 90 feet away of being the 4th run of this game as Hyannis with a newfound 3-2 advantage. Becerra, the first pitch, laid off high and outside. Bargo today has really hit the ball well. Couple of hard line drives. His last at bat, a hard line out to Devin Taylor in right field. The 1-0 pitch taken for ball 2 outside. So on the play, 2 errors signed. Or 1 error, to the Kettleers. Nolan Araki gets it for a missed catch after the throw from Kian Vu in center field. Becerra falls behind 3-0 here against Bargo, as he's attacking him low in the zone, but Bargo wisely is laid off. Becerra glove set at his chest. DiTallo leads off third as the 3-0 pitch taken outside and high for ball 4. So it's a 4-pitch walk for Dalton Bargo as he reaches for the 3rd time today.
Yeah, good day at the plate for Bargo. 2 walks, a single, and a hard line out to right field. So he reaches for the 3rd time, and Hyannis just continuing to build upon this rally that they've built in the bottom of the 7th inning. Now 8 hits on the board with 3 total runs, and Cotuit 2 errors on the board, and not a sight you want to see if you're Mike Roberts.
Mike Roberts standing on the perch of the first base dugout as Becerra pours in a first pitch strike to the third baseman Anthony Silva. Silva today 2 for 3 with a strikeout, single, and a double. Runners on the corners here, 2 outs in the inning. DiTallo leads off third, Bargo off first. Becerra set at his chest, deals. Towering pop-up, but that's foul. Right down the first base line. Goes into the soccer field over our heads. But Silva finds himself down on the count 0-2.
Yeah, this is exactly what you want to do, but Silva, a guy who, as we know, can battle up there at the plate. He did so in his strikeout in the 2nd inning, but responded with back-to-back base hits, a single and a double. Still a threat at the plate, even with 2 strikes.
Becerra deals the 0-2 pitch. Runner taking off for second. Jay keeps it in front as that pitch was spiked in the dirt. So taking second is Dalton Bargo, as Hyannis has runners on second and third, still with 2 outs. The count now goes to 1-2.
Well, Hyannis going into this game with 35 stolen bases. You know they're going to be aggressive on the paths, and they have been, trying to draw Cotuit into maybe some more mistakes on the field, maybe try to get Grant J to throw that one down to second, but since it was bounced in there, they'll have to deal with the runners in scoring position once more.
Just the 2nd stolen base of the day for the Harbor Hawks. Another pitch low in the dirt, blocked off the paraphernalia of Jay, goes right back to Becerra on the mound.
Yeah, that was a tough block for Jay. He had to kind of jump up with the right shoulder after going down to the crouch and put a good block on it there. Of course, all important block with 2 runners in scoring position and trying to not let this Hyannis lead creep up above to what it is at now, which is 3 runs.
After falling behind in the count 0-2, Silva has worked the count back even at 2-2 here with 2 runners on, 2 outs in the inning. Hyannis leads 3-2. Becerra, that pitch sky deep into center field. Going back on it is Kian Vu, back nearly to the wall, but he makes the play for the 3rd and final out of the inning. But not before Hyannis takes a 3-2 lead after a 2 RBI single from Michael DiTallo as we head to the top of the 8th with Hyannis leading Cotuit 3-2 here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Discover a treasure of nearly 70,000 books at the Isaiah Thomas bookstore right here in Cotuit. Founded in 1969 and relocated to a restored 1860s Crocker family house in 1990, their shop is a haven for book lovers of any age. Visit the Isaiah Thomas bookstore on 4632 Falmouth Road in Cotuit or contact at 508-428-2752.
RCA Electric and Generators is dedicated to helping homeowners and building contractors select, purchase, install, and maintain the ideal generator for their specific needs. Since being founded by Randy Agnew in 1990, this Barnstable-based family-run business has grown its reputation by serving all of Cape Cod, the South Shore, and the South Coast. Get in touch today by reaching out to RCA at 508-428-0449 or visit in person at 153 Commercial Street in Mashpee. RCA Electric and Generators is dedicated to helping homeowners.
For nearly 2 decades, Coastal Irrigation has proudly provided top-notch irrigation and landscape lighting services across Cape Cod. Starting with just a handful of customers in Cotuit, they now serve nearly all of the Cape. Upgrade your lawn care with their modern irrigation systems. No more dragging around hoses or worrying about watering while you're away. Their systems ensure your grass stays healthy and green effortlessly. Transform your home with Coastal Irrigation's landscape lighting services. Enhance your outdoor gatherings, improve safety, and boost curb appeal with their affordable, low-voltage lighting solutions. Illuminate your walkways and highlight architectural details to make your home shine. Contact Coastal Irrigation at 508-428-1529 or info@coastalirrigation.com.
Hyannis leads Cotuit 3-2 here in the top of the 8th from McKeon Park as the Harbor Hawks scored 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th on 3 hits, 1 error assigned to Nolan Naraki off of just a wild play off the bat of Michael DiTallo, just a ball hit in the center field. Kian Vu made a long throw to third base that got away from Naraki. Then his throw home got away from Christian Becerra, who was covering home plate. Just a crazy play that plated 2 runs for Hyannis, but Cotuit now finds themselves trailing here with just 2 innings to go, but luckily for the Cats, they have the 1, 2, 3 hitters due up as it's Grant J, Tanner Thatch, and Brooks Bryan set to hit against the new arm Casey Hintz, who comes in relief of the lefty Sean Fitzpatrick. So righty-righty matchup here. First pitch, big cut on and miss by Grant J. Jay today 0 for 2, walked in his first at-bat, came around to score on the 2-run home run by Tanner Thatch. It's been the only offense for Cotuit today, and Jay struck out swinging in his last 2 at-bats, one coming in the 3rd, one coming in the 5th, as he waves through a pitch low and outside in the dirt as Hintz quickly gets ahead of Jay here 0-2. Hintz coming off of the season at Arizona where he made 27 appearances, had a 3-1 record, picked up 2 saves, also had a 4.13 ERA. Hintz with a sidearm delivery fans Jay on just 3 pitches as Grant Jay goes down on strikes for the 3rd time today as Casey Hintz comes out of the bullpen and records his first punch-out.
A nifty slider there from Casey Hintz, low and outside, and causes Grant Jay to chase after another strike 3 swinging. Difficult day for him at the plate, who performed incredibly well yesterday in his 3 plate appearances at leadoff and experiencing the other side of that today.
Now it's Tanner Thatch, who lays out the first pitch off at the knees. So he finds himself up in the count 1-0. Thatch today 1 for 2 with a home run and a strikeout. Looking also was hit by a pitch. Thatch 7 for 9 in his last 3 games. Hits a big cut, fielded by the first baseman Blake Cavell, who takes it to the bag in time. So quickly 2 are gone here in the top of the 8th.
Nine straight Kettleers retired, and this Hyannis bullpen doing a job. Sean Fitzpatrick was the first one. He hit Tanner Thatch, was the first batter that he faced. But then since then went 7 up, 7 down, and now 2 quick outs here drawn by Casey Hintz. And this top of the Kettleers lineup has been silenced since that 3rd inning. Really the 1st inning.
Cotuit just 3 hits today as Brian lays off on a pitch low and outside. The last hit for Cotuit coming back in the top of the 5th. It was a single by Jaron Advincula. Just 3 hits today. Tanner Thatch has one, Nolan Naraki has one, Jaron Advincula has one, and a high chopping ground ball toward the second baseman Gazdar. His throw low in the dirt, scooped up by Blake Cavill as Brooks Bryan goes down on the 4-3 ground out. So a 1-2-3 first inning of relief for the new arm. Casey, he shuts down this Cotuit lineup as we head to the bottom half of the inning with the Harbor Hawks leading the Kettleers 3-2.
This Saturday, the Kettleers are reuniting the 1995 champions by welcoming the championship-winning team back to Lowell Park. A blast from the past. Several of the players will take batting practice before a pregame ceremony honoring the team, followed by a group first pitch. The Kettleers will take on Chatham, the team Cotuit beat in 1995 for his 13th CCBL title. Join us in welcoming Kettleers history Saturday, July 13th at Lowell.
Cape Cod Coffee is a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers. They offer breakfast and lunch, as well as indoor and outdoor dining. Check out Cape Cod Coffee at one of their 3 locations, on Route 130, at Mashpee Commons, and at Wareham Commons, or on their website at capecodcoffee.com.
Joe, can I get a DJ Khaled reference on the broadcast?
9-1-2 due up here in the bottom of the 8th as Josh Tate set to lead things off against the new pitcher for Cotuit. It's Lucas Perko, who comes in relief of Christian Becerra, who goes 1 2/3 innings worked, allowed 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, walked a batter, and struck out 2. And Joe, of the 3 runs that Cotuit has allowed, just 1 has been earned.
Yeah, I know. And the Kettleers going into this game, the 10 unearned runs, now of course being 12, was the 4th fewest in the league. So it's a mark that they've done a pretty solid job at so far this season, and done a great job of as the season has progressed. We've seen the same infield over and over again play really solid defense, including the guys out there right now. But credit to the Harbor Hawks for putting the ball in play and making the Kettleers make mistakes.
Now it's Josh Tate. He's 0 for 3 today. Reached in his first at-bat on an error committed by Nolan Naraki. Also popped up and struck out as the first pitch, high looping breaking ball from Perko, laid off for ball 1. Tate, playing in just his 3rd game this summer, chases a pitch low and outside to even the count at 1-1. Tate began his collegiate career at Georgia, then transferred this past year to Georgia Southern, where he hit .369 as he's now ahead in the count 2-1. Played in just 13 games with the Bulldogs as a freshman, then hit the transfer portal as high looping ground ball to the 3rd baseman Naraki. His stab, throw in time to nab the speedy Josh Tate. So an excellent play at the hot corner for Nolan Naraki. Retires Josh Tate for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, scorching one hopper. He was playing up on the grass and had to reach high into his left to pull that down, and then pirouette and throw all the way across the diamond to get Josh Tate. A really nice play by Nolan Naraki, who was charged with an error last inning. So it's great to see him respond and get a first out.
Now it's back to the top of this Hyannis order. It's the right fielder, Kane Kepley. Kepley flew out in his last at-bat to deep center field that Kian Vu made an outstanding catch on. It's a high looping breaking ball looked at for strike 1. The count is even at 1-1 here to Kepley. But so far on the day, Kepley 1 for 3. Walked once and does have an RBI. Had an RBI single to even make it a 2-1 ball game, back in the bottom of the 2nd as he waves through another curveball from Perko there. Count is 1-2. 1-2 pitch spiked in the dirt, kept in front by Grant J. Perko this past year at Cal Baptist made 15 appearances, started 12 games, had a 5-3 record with a 3.84 ERA, but had a lot of success in his first 10 appearances. Had a 2.56 ERA and 52 2/3 innings pitched, but the last 5 just got away from him. As Kepley hits this to deep right field, going back on the track is Devin Taylor. Leaps up, but this ball is gone. Kane Kepley goes yard as Hyannis takes a 4-2 lead after the deep blast to right field.
His first home run as a Harbor Hawk, and it's his 9th run driven in, actually 10th run driven in on the season, second in this ball game. He did that 9 times this past season at Liberty, and he has given the Harbor Hawks an extra run of insurance here in the bottom of the 8th.
358 to right field here at McKeon Park. Devin Taylor gave a leap at the wall, but it wasn't coming back after the bomb from Kane Kepley. Now it's John Gazdar. Gazdar hits this one on the ground to the shortstop. Tyler Cerny goes with the backhand, but the ball just evades his glove as it pops up. So Gazdar reaches for the second time today. As once again, Hyannis' bats coming alive here. Back-to-back players getting on base or scoring.
Yeah, we'll see how they score that one. Kettleers already 2 errors on the board so far, 10 hits for the Harbor Hawks, and really offensively, they have owned this ball game. Just a great job by the Kettleers pitchers to hold runners on base.
So it is a single ruled to Gazdar as the first pitch to Cavill, called strike number 1. So Gazdar today 2 for 5 with a pair of singles. In his last 2 at-bats, takes a small lead off first. Lefty-righty matchup here. As Cavill checks his swing, goes off of his bat, straight back into the netting behind home plate. Oh, 2 is the count here, and going back to Perko, just not having success in his last 5 outings as another pickoff move, Gazdar back in standing. In the last 5 outings for Perko, 20 innings, had a 7.2 ERA, allowed 16 runs in those 20 innings of work. Did punch out 27 batters while only walking 6. As this pitch low in the dirt, kept in front by Grant J. Staying put is Gazdar off first. Cavill 0 for 3. Reached on a fielder's choice, also walked. Has struck out once today. One of the few Harbor Hawks that has not tallied a base hit is this one hit on the ground to the shortstop, Cerny. The flip to Advicula for 1. The relay throw not in time as Cavill lays it out, reaches for the 3rd time today on the fielder's choice.
Yeah, bang play at first, but Cavill just barely beats it out, reaches first base for the 3rd time today. But for Hyannis to bring some runs in, I know they've left a lot of runners in scoring position today, left 11 men on base, but it was more of the same the last time these 2 teams played, Alex, where Hyannis left the bases loaded 2 times and loaded them up a total of 3 times in that ball game, with Cotuit still winning it.
Big cut on and missed by the shortstop, Alex Lodis. On the first offering from Lucas Perko, the count is 0-1. Lodis, a productive day at the dish. He's 2 for 4 with a pair of singles. Also came around to score last inning as a big lead off of first base is Cavill. Stepping off is Perko. Drawing the jeers from the Hyannis third base dugout.
Yeah, I think they thought he balked. Looked like a clean move, though, from Perko.
Cavill now with a short lead off first base. The 0-1 pitch waved on and missed by Lodis as he quickly is down on the count 0-2 here.
Well, how many times have we said it tonight? The Kettleers just 1 strike away from getting out of the inning, and once more here for Perko.
0-2, 2 out. Pitch low in the dirt, swung on and missed by Alex Lodis, so Lucas Perko gets the punch out as Lodis goes down on strikes for the 2nd time tonight. But not before Hyannis adds another run as they lead it 4-2 after the solo blast by Kane Kepley. We head to the top of the night with Hyannis leading Cotuit 4-2 here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Willowbend has been regarded as one of Cape Cod's and New England's premier private clubs and communities for over 25 years. Willow Bend is a family-friendly community right here in Cotuit. They strive for a fun and relaxed lifestyle with good times and good friends. Discover all that and more at Willow Bend.
For over 40 years, Vollmer & Son Construction has proudly served its community, providing a wide range of construction services, from bathroom renovations to complete home remodels. When you work with Vollmer & Son, you are being taken care of by natives of Cape Cod who support the community by using local suppliers and subcontractors. Vollmer & Son Construction, a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
With 30-plus years of personal injury litigation and insurance negotiation experience, Snow Law Firm is your go-to for wrongful injuries and rightful compensation. Snow Law Firm will secure the maximum amount of compensation available through settlement or trial. Schedule a free case evaluation by calling 508-477-7100.
Escape the summer heat at Polar Cave Ice Cream Parlor, located on Route 28 in Mashpee, right at the Barnstable town line. Our creamy, homemade ice cream flavors will delight your taste buds. Plus, Kettleers kids get a free comb on home game days. Call us at 508-477-5553 or email info@polarcave.com to learn more. Come chill with us and experience the coolest treats on Cape Cod.
Cotuit down to its final 3 outs here at McKeon Park. Hyannis has a 4-2 lead. The first pitch from Casey Hintz to Devin Taylor, looked at for strike number 1. Hintz back out for his second inning of work. Went 1-2-3 in the Kettleers order. Slow chopper back to Hintz. He can't field the ground ball. Flip to Gazdar. Not in time as he went with the glove flip to the first baseman Cavill. So Devin Taylor reaches for the first time today as Cotuit now sends up the tying run to the dish as it's a pinch hitter, Brandon Compton.
Now we'll see how they end up scoring that one. Cotuit was still 3 hits in this ball game, but speed kills and great speed up the first base line by Devin Taylor. That error likely isn't even made, or whatever it's called, isn't even made by Hintz without his speed. And so he draws a mistake, and the Kettleers get what they needed, which is a base runner.
So Taylor leads off first base as the first pitch to Compton, taking fastball high and outside.
And that it is an error for Casey Hintz on the infield, but the Kettleers will take it any way they can.
First base runner for the Kettleers in a long while. As 2-0 is the count on Compton as he lays off the 1-0 pitch low and outside. First base runner for Cotuit since Tanner Thatch was hit by a pitch in the top of the 5th. Had been 10 straight that was retired by Hyannis' pitching staff. The 2-0 pitch taken at the knees low and inside, so Compton finds himself up in the count 3-0 here.
Compton has reached in all 14 of his starts for the Kettleers, and so this is a guy that you want on at the plate who can get on base at a high clip.
Hitting .346 in his last 8 games as Hintz pours in a strike. 3-1 is the count on the pinch hitter from Arizona State. So far this summer, hitting .259 with 3 home runs and 12 RBIs. Taylor, short lead off first base pickoff move. He's back in with a head first dive.
Yeah, Compton getting a second opportunity as a pinch hitter this season. First time all the way back in Game 3 of the season, he struck out.
Hintz steals hard line drive down the third base line. What a snag by the bullpen catcher of the Harbor Hawks there.
And he shows it to the crowd, too.
That was a bullet off the bat of Brandon Compton. But from 3-0 to 3-2 we go. No outs here in the top of the 9th. Hyannis leads the Kettleers 4-2. Taylor a short lead off first base. The full count pitch taken high and outside for ball 4. So Cotuit puts back-to-back runners on to begin the inning.
Yeah, there you go. The 7th walk of the season for Brandon Compton. Now moving him into second on the team in walks. Of course, Tanner Thatch with 9 of those leads the team. And now a mound visit between Mitch Carricker and this entire Hyannis infield after the Kettleers put the first 2 runners on base.
There is someone warming up in the Harbor Hawks bullpen. It is a righty. So a long visit on the mound. Casey Hintz came in, worked a 1-2-3 top of the 8th, getting Grant J to strike out, Tanner Thatch to ground out to the first baseman, and Brooks Bryan to ground out to the second baseman, but Hintz has ran into trouble here, as Devin Taylor reached on an error committed by Hintz. And Brandon Compton drew a full count walk.
Yeah, and going into this inning, the Kettleers were 10 up, 10 down against this Hyannis bullpen. Didn't get a base runner since back in that 5th inning when they put 2 runners on and left them both stranded. Obviously don't want to do that again here. It's their last chance for the Kettleers, but with no outs in this inning, we'll see if Mike Roberts turns on any sort of bunt play with Blue up.
So Blue does square around a bunt, pulls back as the first offering from Hintz misses well outside for ball 1. Pinch hitter in the on-deck circle for Cotuit, Charles Davalon. Kien Vu is supposed to hit next as Blue getting set to bunt. The lefty lays one down, but that goes foul right behind home plate. Harbor Hawks expecting it all the way as the third baseman, Anthony Silva, way in on the grass. So is the first baseman, Blake Cavell. Taylor leads off second, Compton off first. Blue today, 0 for 3 with a ground out, a fly out, and a strikeout. Silva well in as Blue goes down a bunt. Can't lay it down. Snap throw down to second. Taylor back in standing it. But a really nice throw by Dalton Bargo made it a close play at the bag.
Yeah, throw was on a dime, and Devin Taylor thought he wouldn't have to dive back into the bag, went and decided to scamper back in there standing up. Barely able to beat the tag of Alex Lodis at shortstop. Luckily for him, he stays alive and a 1-2 count to Blue.
Hintz working at the stretch, glove set just above his belt. Takes a long look back at Taylor, comes home. Blue lofts this one foul down the third baseline, gave it a ride, but right at the Hyannis bullpen.
Yeah, that's a great swing there from Blue. Just kind of flicks the barrel at it off the end of the bat. It twists way out of play, but that would have been perfect for an opposite field line drive down the left field line. Could have scored 1, maybe 2. And something like that would do perfectly right here.
Blue picked up his second and third RBIs yesterday with an RBI single against Bourne. Taylor a long lead off second. Hintz comes home with it well outside as Blue lays off. So 2-2 is the count here against the Texas slugger, who playing in his second game coming back from the USA national team. Hintz a long look in, nods his head, looks back at Taylor, comes home with the 2-2 pitch, low in the dirt, well outside as Blue lays off, and he works the count full here. A big spot for Max Blue. Cotuit trailing 4-2 here in the top of the 9th. Runners on first and second, no outs here. Cotuit, they've been blank since the first inning after the 2-run home run by Tanner Thatch. Hintz comes set, deals. Slow chopper down the first base line. Fielding it is Hintz. He'll flip it underhand to first base as Max Blue is retired for the first out of the inning. Moving up to third base is Devin Taylor. Standing on second is Brandon Compton, and that brings up the pinch hitter, Charles Davalon.
And that works just as good as a bunt right up the first base line. Both runners will advance into scoring position there. Still a quality at bat for Max Blue there, who went 1 for 3 last night, now falling back to 0 for 4 tonight. But now with the 2 runners in scoring position, this is a massive opportunity for Charles Davalon.
So Blue does a job here as now it's Charles Davalon, the lefty, hits this one hard on the ground to the second baseman, Gazdar. Goes in a slide, the throw in time to nab Davalon. Coming in to score is Devin Taylor. So it's an RBI ground out for Charles Davalon, but more importantly, Hyannis picks up a crucial second out of the inning.
And that home run in the bottom of the 8th inning by Kane Kepley proving to be vital in this game for the Harbor Hawks. At the time, just appeared to be an extra run of insurance, but that could hold up as the game-winning run. But it comes down to the league leader in batting average, Jaron Advincula, at the plate with 2 gone in the 9th.
This is the guy that you want to have at the plate if you're the Kettleers. Jaron Advincula came in today with a .436 average. Looks at the first pitch from Hintz. Low and outside for ball 1. Advincula today 1 for 3, flew out to right field, singled in the 5th, and grounded out to Gazdar at second in the 7th. Standing on third base is Brandon Compton. Advincula swings at a pitch that gets behind the catcher. Coming to score is Brandon Compton, and Cotuit evens the score at 4 after the wild pitch from Casey Hintz. as the ball just evaded the grasp of Dalton Bargo.
Are they going to say that hit Jaron Advincula's bat? The entire umpire crew is going to caucus up the first base line. And Advincula took a healthy hack at that breaking ball down in the zone. It didn't appear that there was any sort of contact with the bat, but immediately out of the dugout, Mitch Carricker was asking the umpiring crew if they thought that it did hit the bat, and here's a decision.
So they say that it does not hit the bat as Cotuit evens the score at 4 after the wild pitch from Hinson. What a crucial call there, goes the way of the Kettleers. So Cotuit, after being blanked from the 2nd to 8 innings, evens the score with 2 runs here in the top of the 9th.
And just getting on base in any way possible.
Advincula hits this one hard on the ground to the second baseman Gazdar, who fields cleanly. Throw is in time to nab Advincula for the 3rd out of the inning, but not before Cotuit comes back and evens the score here at 4 after the RBI ground out from Charles Davalon and the wild pitch from Casey Hintz, allowing Brandon Compton to come in and score. We head to the bottom of the 9th with Hyannis and Cotuit even at 4 here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Be a part of historic Lowell Park and support the Cotuit Kettleers by purchasing a paver engraved with your personal message to be placed in the new Walk of Champions. For more information, visit the Cotuit Kettleers website.
Operating on Cape Cod since 1988, Advanced Embroidery has garnered national awards in embroidery and screen printing. They offer screenings on golf shirts, Oxford shirts, jackets, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and bags. Advanced Embroidery will print your company's or team's logos anywhere. Thousands of satisfied customers can attest for Advanced Embroidery's attentive customer service, tight quality control, and quick turnaround time. They're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday on 38 Plant Road in Hyannis.
It's a new ball game here at McKeon Park. Hyannis and Cotuit tied up at 4 apiece here in the bottom of the 9th after Cotuit came alive in the top of the 9th, plating 2 runs after an RBI groundout by Charles Davalon and the wild pitch plating Brandon Compton. So it's the top of the 9th, and Mike Roberts and company brings on a new arm as it's Cam Schulke coming in relief of Lucas Perko.
Some defensive substitutions for the Kettleers. Charles Davalon, who batted last inning for Kian Vu, stays in the game to play center field. Timo Becerra is the new shortstop for the Kets. We saw Brandon Compton pinch hit for Tyler Cerny, so he's replaced by Becerra. Rest of the infield looks the exact same and should be updated for the Kettleers to try to hold the Harbor Hawks off the scoreboard here in the bottom of the 9th. And if they're able to get these 3 outs and keep the score at 4-4, we would play the 10th inning. But from there, no more baseball.
So Cam Schulke coming on, just tossing his final warm-up pitches here as catcher Grant Jay fires a seed down to second base. Schulke getting set to face the 5, 6, and 7 hitters in this Hyannis order, as it's Mason White set to dig in. White 0 for 4 today with 2 strikeouts and 2 flyouts to center field. So White, the left fielder, left-handed batter, set to dig in to square off against Cam Schulke for the first time today. Schulke making his 5th appearance. Does have 2 saves and 3 opportunities. Has a 4.91 ERA and has gone 3 2/3 innings pitched. His last outing came back on July 2nd against Orleans. High looping breaking ball at the letters called to strike, and Mason White can't believe it. Neither can the Hyannis dugout.
Yeah, that just had to have burned the edge of the zone. Harbor Hawks fans not happy with the call, but Schulke ahead 0-1.
Clips the high and outside corner as Schulke goes overhead, pours in a curveball that's looked at for strike 2 against Mason White. John Budka behind home plate, calling balls and strikes. Schulke, underarm, swing and a miss. He got him. Cam Schulke comes out of the pen and gets a 3-pitch strikeout against Mason White, who is set down on strikes for the 3rd time today.
Yeah, difficult play at the day at the plate for Mason White, and now falling back to 0 for 5. Cam Schulke getting into a game here against a familiar foe in Hyannis, who he faced 2 years ago in the playoffs. Things not really going his way, and a chance for redemption here.
Now it's Michael DeTalo. He's 2 for 4 with an RBI. Schulke pouring in a first pitch strike as DeTalo watches it cross right down Main Street. Schulke, a long look in, comes set at the belt. Kicks and deals the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss by DeTalo there. Pulling the string on him is Schulke as he's now quickly down on the count 0-2. DeTalo 4 for 8 against the Kettleers so far this summer. Looking for hit number 5 in a big spot in the bottom of the 9th. Schulke, high pitch that gets Grant J out of his squat.
Yeah, that was high, 69 miles an hour too. Just a floater over the top of the zone. But still a chance to get DeTalo here, ahead of the count 1-2.
Don't want to leave that pitch down the heart of the plate as Schulke comes set, deals the 1-2 pitch, evades the glove of Grant J, goes back to the backstop here and off the blue padding.
Yeah, went over the top there, did Schulke at 77. Can spoil a couple of pitches, but you don't want to send this count to 3-2.
1 out here in the bottom of the 9th. Cotuit scored 2 in the top half of the inning to send this to the bottom half here. 4-4 is your score. DeTalo, high looping foul ball down the first base line and well out of play. So the count stays even at 2-2 here. The 6th pitch of the at-bat upcoming. Schulke, 4 strikeouts this summer. Recorded them against Falmouth and Wareham, the 2 games that he recorded a save, as the 2-2 pitch taken well outside as DeTalo works the count full. DeTalo fell behind on the count 0-2, has worked it full here. Schulke takes a long look, goes sidearm here as DeTalo just fights this one down the first base line. That'll just roll foul as Tanner Thatch let that go foul just to the right of the first base bag.
Yeah, wisely. I mean, with those spinning baseballs, you have no idea where it's going to go next. Sometimes you'll see that one kind of curve back into the field of play, and Tanner Thatch just hoping that that would be able to get a piece of the first base bag. But for DeTalo, he will take the slow walk back down the first base line and face a 3-2 count once more.
So DeTalo doing a good job staying alive here. Has seen 7 pitches from the Kettleers bullpen arm and Cam Schulke. Comes set, glove at the belt, goes overhand here, swing and a miss. Schulke comes out of the bullpen and gets a strikeout of Mason White and Michael DeTalo, and quickly there's 2 outs here.
Untouchable and just completely keeping the batter off guard. Both of these at-bats, back-to-back strikeouts, and both of them just looking completely uncertain at the plate, going back over the top. The pitch that he tried to get in the zone at 1-2, I believe it was, in that count. Schulke going back to it, picking up the 2nd straight strikeout.
Schulke, the 2022 Cape Cod reliever of the year, and you can see why with filthy stuff just like that, fooling these hitters. And now that brings up the ever-dangerous Dalton Bargo. Hit a lot of hard-hit balls today as the first pitch just evades Bargo as he has to back out of the way from Schulke as that goes straight back to the batter's stop. Bargo today 1 for 2. Scored a run, has also walked twice. So reaching in 3 of 4 plate appearances is the left-handed hitting catcher. Schulke, a long look in, goes sidearm here. That one runs too far high and in tight as Bargo lays off as the count moves to 2-0.
A rare 89 fastball and then 80 on the sinker from Cam Schulke going over the top and then down at the submarine style.
Schulke back to the submarine. This one flared right to Jaron Advincula, who fields it on the backhand. So Cam Schulke comes out of the bullpen and works a 1-2-3 bottom of the 9th as we head to extra innings here at McKeon Park. Cotuit, Hyannis, even at 4. Stay tuned for extra innings here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Since 1980, the O'Rourke family has been catering Cape Cod clam bakes, making your events delicious and memorable. Founded by Jake O'Rourke, Jake's Clam Bakes has become a beloved tradition, now carried on by his son, Dan. Choose from our menu options, and on the day of your clam bake, their crew will come to your site and steam a fresh, mouth-watering clam bake just for you. It's that easy. Call us at 833-252-6285 or visit our new takeout location at Building 6 on 3821 Route 28 in Marston's Mills. Email us at dan@jakesclambakes.com with your event details, number of guests, date, time, location, and any special requests like a raw bar, homemade desserts, or kids menu. Not catering? Try their takeout menu featuring lobster rolls, smash burgers, salads, sandwiches, and a smoothie bar. Jake's Clam Bakes, making Cape Cod gatherings unforgettable.
Coastal Rentals is the place to go for professional landscape and construction equipment. Whether you need tools and equipment for commercial use or for your own projects, Coastal Rentals has what you need. Purchasing gear is also available. Check out Coastal Rentals today.
For nearly 2 decades, Coastal Irrigation has proudly provided top-notch irrigation and landscape lighting services across Cape Cod. Starting with just a handful of customers in Cotuit, they now serve nearly all of the Cape. Upgrade your lawn care with their modern irrigation systems. No more dragging around hoses or worrying about watering while you're away. Their systems ensure your grass stays healthy and green effortlessly. Transform your home with Coastal Irrigation's landscape lighting services. Enhance your outdoor gatherings, improve safety, and boost curb appeal with their affordable, low-voltage lighting solutions. Illuminate your walkways and highlight architectural details to make your home shine. Contact Coastal Irrigation at 508-428-1529 or info@coastalirrigation.net.
Free baseball under the lights here at McKeon Park. Cotuit and Hyannis even at 4 here in the top of the 10th, and the Harbor Hawks go to their 4th pitcher of the ball game. It's Reed Mooring coming in and replacing Casey Hintz, who goes 2 innings, does not allow a hit, but allows 2 runs, 1 earned, walked a batter, and struck out 1. While tossing 25 pitches, 14 comes in for strikes, but it's Reed Mooring set to make his 2nd appearance so far this summer. Has picked up a save and went 2 innings in that contest, not allowing a hit or a run or a walk, but striking out 3. So Mooring will face the 9, 1, and 2 hitters in this Kettleer lineup, and the ghost runner standing on second base, ultra important here because it's the speedy Jaron Advincula.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great point that you bring up. And Cotuit with this 8, 9, and 1 in the order. We've seen Mike Roberts shuffle up the lineup a bit in these past couple games, kind of moving guys into positions where they normally aren't. And Nolan Naraki, who was the everyday leadoff man, now batting 9th today. So you kind of have that double leadoff again like we saw yesterday with Naraki, then Grant J, and then Tanner Thatch. So for the Kettleers, we'll see if those lineup changes prove to make a difference. But with that being said, Grant J will be pinch hit for by Cannon Peebles, who stands on deck.
So it's the righty Reed Mooring facing the right-handed hitting third baseman Nolan Naraki, who's 1 for 2 today, singled in his first at-bat and before the first pitch to him. Coming out to the mound is the catcher Dalton Bargo. The Harbor Hawks expecting a bunt here from Naraki. Anthony Silva, the third baseman, well in on the grass. So is the first baseman Blake Cavill. But Mooring this past year at UC Santa Barbara had a 1-3 record with a 7.12 ERA. Made 16 appearances, made 3 starts, went 30 1/3 innings, allowed 42 hits, 24 earned runs, walked 20 batters, and struck out 31. Also hit 6 batters. So Advincula, the lead off second base. Mooring takes a long look back, glove set beneath his belt. Now comes set. Naraki squares around a bunt. This one goes high and in tight and lined hard down the first base line, but goes foul.
Kettleers going 0-3 in extra inning games a year ago in 2023, and a similar strategy for Mike Roberts that we've seen him do plenty of times is try to bunt that lead runner over to just 90 feet away, and that's what Naraki's trying to dial up right now.
Naraki laid down a bunt earlier in this game. It was a sacrifice bunt that got Jaron Advincula into scoring position. That was back in the 5th, but the Kettleers couldn't plate him from second. Naraki squares around a bunt again, pulls back, pitch low in the dirt. Taken for ball 1. Advincula scampers back to second after Bargo faked the throw.
Yeah, good job by Naraki to pull that barrel back immediately. Knew it was a breaking ball, didn't want any of that pitch as it finished well beneath the zone. And Mooring will have to throw here again at 1-1.
Naraki hitting .245 this summer. Mooring with a long look back at Advincula comes home. Naraki squares around a bunt, pulls back. That pitch laid off low beneath the knees. So 2-1 is the count to the Kettleers' third baseman.
That's an easy take there. You're lower to the ground. You get maybe a little bit of a better look on that pitch, and it's a breaking ball from the level that it started at. He knew it was going to finish beneath the zone.
It's been a tough day for Naraki in the field. Committed an error earlier in this game, but puts a bunt down the first base line. Cavill will let it go foul, but it doesn't. Nolan Naraki legs out the bunt as Cotuit has runners on the corners here with no out in the inning. Cavill was certain that ball was going to go foul, but he lets it continue to roll, but it stays fair. So Cannon Peebles, the new pinch hitter, coming up in a big spot. Actually, it's going to be Matt Klein instead of Peebles.
Yeah, a late switch there as Peebles was in the on-deck circle and now making the switch for Matt Klein. And we'll see what they dial up here now with both runners on the corners. You don't want to get trapped into a situation where you have a double play ball. Of course, a double play would likely score the runner from third, and Hyannis will bring their infield in.
So the Harbor Hawks bring the infield in against the pinch hitter, Matt Klein. Klein coming up in a big spot here, playing in just his 12th game. Mooring, first pitch, blazing fastball, wave through and missed by Klein there. 91 on the gun to the pinch hitter. Klein has had a lot of success as of late for Cotuit. 4 RBIs this summer. This one hit into the left center field gap. Charging, but that'll split the outfielders. Playing it on a hop is Mason White. Coming in to score is Sharon Advincula, as it's a go-ahead RBI single for Matt Klein as the Kettleers take a 5-4 lead here in the 10th.
And it's more of what we've seen from Matt Klein already so far this season in all of his plate appearances, just putting a charge into that ball into the opposite alleyway, not trying to yank it down the line or do too much with it, just knows that he needs to score that run from third, and he does so beautifully. And Tanner Thatch, the hottest hitter in this Kettleers lineup, with a chance to put them ahead even by more.
Runners on first and second here as Naraki stands on second. The first pitch from Mooring, taken at the letters for ball 1, 93 miles an hour on the fastball from the righty. The 5th RBI for Matt Klein this year couldn't have come at a bigger spot, giving the Kettleers a 5-4 advantage. Mooring with a long look back at Naraki, who's being held on by the shortstop. Now he comes home. Big cut on and miss by Thatch. Was looking to jack his second home run of the day. Has 6 home runs so far this summer, 16 RBIs, and has an opportunity to add to that total here. 2 home runs in the last 2 games for the Kettleers slugger. The 1-1 pitch, high looping breaking ball, catches the inside corner as Thatch lays off, but he's now down in the count 1-2.
Yeah, Thatch, who crowds the plate, that nearly hit him, has already taken a hit by pitch so far today. But just looking to put the ball in play here, down in the count 1-2.
Thatch 1 for 3 with a home run, strikeout, and a ground out to first. Also was hit by a pitch, like Joe mentioned. 1-2 pitch low in the dirt. Thatch goes around. He checks his swing. They're going to say...
Time called by the umpire. Did that hit him?
They're going to say Thatch was hit by the pitch. So he's walking down to first base, but the bases are loaded here. Still no outs in the inning. A crazy play.
I mean, credit John Butka. That's a difficult call to make at this time in the game, and he did so immediately. Of course, with the check swing from Tanner Thatch, it's kind of tough to tell, and there's a little bit of a gray area there, especially with the umpire standing behind the pitcher's mound. But the Kettleers will take it, and there are runners on each base with nobody out, and the middle of this order coming up to the plate.
So it was a 1-2 pitch low in the dirt. Thatch checked his swing, but the pitch comes up, bounces, and hits him. So the bases are loaded as Naraki stands on third, Matt Klein off second, Brooks Bryan hits a towering pop-up high on the infield. Getting underneath it is the pitcher, Reed Mooring. He loses it. That'll come down and fall, but it's called an infield fly. So it's just a towering pop-up for Brooks Bryan as he's retired for the first out of the inning.
Well, pitchers don't catch pop-ups, and nobody on the Hyannis infield stepped up to make that play. It was just the pitcher, Mooring, who was looking up at it. He was waiting for someone to call him off, but it looked like the infield thought that he had it. But fortunately for the Harbor Hawks, they get away with one there. The bases were loaded, and another smart play in a difficult situation by this umpiring crew.
So it's 1 out in the inning. That brings up the right fielder, Devin Taylor. Still looking for his first hit back from Team USA. Takes a healthy cut out of the first offering from Mooring, but waves on and misses. Taylor today, 0 for 4, did reach on an error to begin the top of the ninth. Mooring, long look in, glove set beneath his belt. Kicks and deals the 0-1 pitch. Taylor chopped this one on the ground over the glove of Blake Cavill. 1 run comes in and scored. Matt Klein puts on the brakes at third as it's an RBI single for Devin Taylor, and the Kettleers take a 6-4 lead.
Yeah, corners were playing up for Hyannis, and it came back to bite him there as that one takes a high chop over the first baseman, past the outstretched arms of Gazdar at second, and into right field. He drives home one, and we waited for Devin Taylor to get that first base hit since coming back from Team USA. It couldn't have come at a better time, driving in that 6th run of the ball game.
RBI number 3 for Taylor this year. As the bases remain loaded for the Kettleers, as Timo Becerra, who came in as a defensive substitution in the bottom of the ninth for Brandon Compton, who pinch hit for Tyler Cerny, takes his first at-bat today.
And they have tagged Reed Mooring for his first earned runs of the season. And for the Kettleers, they were blanked through the first 7 innings of this ball game, just 3 hits on the board. And now a pause here before the at-bat for what would be another pinch hitter. It looks like that's Timo Becerra. Of course, he was replacing Brandon Compton, and now Nate Hall will replace Matt Klein at third base.
So Mike Roberts continuing to empty his bench here as Nathan Hall is the pinch runner for Matt Klein. Hall with a lot of speed. But it's Becerra coming up with 1 out in the inning. Bases are loaded. Hall leads off third. The first pitch for Mooring, chopped on the ground to the shortstop. Cut off by the third baseman. Is flipped to second. Is in time for 1. But coming in to score is Nathan Hall on the RBI fielder's choice. As Cotuit plays 3 here in the top of the 10th, they now lead 7-4.
Yeah, well, when you load the bases with nobody out, you got to bring home at least 2 or 3 of those runs, and Cotuit just doing their job, putting the ball in play, not striking out. The only real big mistake in this inning was the pop out on the infield where they drew the infield fly. But for the Kettleers to have a great offensive explosion in the 8th and 9th, or the 9th and 10th innings here to finish off this ball game is absolutely huge for a game that they have been outplayed in so far.
Now it's Max Ballou with runners on the corners and 2 outs. Ballou checks his swing. Home plate umpire John Budka says he goes around. So 0-1 is the count here. Ballou today 0 for 4 has struck out. Cotuit 7-4 advantage over Hyannis. Running on the pitch is Becerra. The throw down to second. Becerra's caught in a rundown. Staying put on third base was Tanner Thatch. So Becerra gunned down by Dalton Bargo for the 3rd and final out of the inning, but not before Cotuit takes advantage of extra innings as they plate 3 runs as Jaron Advincula comes in to score, Nolan Naraki comes in to score, and Nathan Hall comes in to score as the Kettleers have a 7-4 lead over Hyannis as we head to the bottom of the 10th here on the Kettleers Radio Network. RCA Electric and Generators is dedicated to helping homeowners and building contractors select, purchase, install, and maintain the ideal generator for their specific needs. Since being founded by Randy Agnew in 1990, this Barnstable-based family-run business has grown its reputation by serving all of Cape Cod, the South Shore, and the South Coast. Get in touch today by reaching out to RCA at 508-428-0449 or visit in person at 153 Commercial Street in Mashpee. Tensions beginning to rise here in the Barnstable Patriot Cup Round 2 between the Cotuit Kettleers and the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. As Cotuit plates 3 in the top of the 10th, they now lead 7-4. And now digging in is Anthony Silva. The ghost runner on second base is Dalton Bargo. Cam Schulke back out to the mound for his second inning of work. Silva today 2 for 4 has really been a spark plug in this Harbor Hawks lineup. Singled once, also doubled. Those two sandwiched by a strikeout and a flyout to center field. Schulke back on the rubber, kicks and deals the first pitch to Silva, who hits a high looping foul ball foul down the first base line.
Running for Bargo at second base, number 4, Nick Rose.
So Nick Rose will be the pinch runner for Dalton Bargo. Rose acts as the ghost runner. That was Sharon Advincula for the Kettleers in the top half of the inning. Schulke, a long look in, shakes his head. Now comes set, glove at his belt, comes overhand, high looping breaking ball, waved on and missed by Silva as he's down to the count 0-2.
Now throwing to a new man behind the plate, and the last catcher not used on this roster, Cannon Peebles.
Peebles coming in, replacing Matt Klein, who picked up a massive hit in the 10th inning. Plating Jaron Advincula. It's the go-ahead hit here as Schulke steps off. Retreating back to second is Gross. Nathan Hall, of course, pinch ran for Matt Klein. He also came in to score. So now it's Peebles behind the plate. Schulke, set. Underhand delivery, swing and a miss, he got him. Third strikeout of the day for Cam Schulke as Anthony Silva goes down on strikes for the second time today, and Cotuit is just 2 outs away from picking up the victory.
Great pitch there from Cam Schulke, a competitive pitch down the heart of the plate and untouchable for Anthony Silva, who barely tipped it into the glove of Cannon Peebles, who squeezes around it and hauls in the first out of this inning. So they get that all-important first out, and now the Harbor Hawks will head to their bench here to pull out a pinch hitter to hit for Josh Tate.
Jackson West, who pinch hits for Josh Tate. Big cut on and missed from West here. Tate was 0 for 4 on the day. Did reach once on an error, also struck out once. But it's the lefty West pinch hitting for Tate. West has been ultra productive with runners in scoring position this year, hitting .600. Also has brought in 4 RBIs as Gross stands on second. Schulke goes overhead. Line drive caught right at Timo Becerra at shortstop. So a hard line drive glove by Becerra for the second out of the inning as Hyannis is now down to its final out.
That'll be Kane Kepley, one of the most difficult outs in this order so far today. 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs, a solo home run 2 innings ago, but that, of course, meaningless right now with Cotuit in front 7-4.
Schulke, first pitch. Called strike 1, high and outside, but he clips the corner. Kepley blasted his first home run in his last at-bat. He's 2 for 4 today, also has drove in 2 runs. Kepley underhand delivery. Swings and misses. Really changing speed. 67 on the gun to Kepley there.
Absolute frisbee from Schulke, and the Kets are 1 strike away.
Groves leads off second. Schulke takes a look. His 0-2 pitch to Kepley. Taken low and outside for ball 1.
69 again, now 1-2 in the count. Could see him go over the top here to try to get strike 3.
Cotuit was trailing 4-2 Heading into the top of the ninth, they scored 2 runs in the ninth, 3 in the 10th. They stand just 1 strike away from pulling off the 7-4 victory as Schulke steps off the mound. The Kettleers had just 3 hits. Heading into the 10th inning, they put up 3 more on 3 runs. Schulke, the 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Foul tipped into the glove of Cannon Peebles as Cam Schulke slams the door shut as the Kettleers come back, score 5 unanswered runs, and beat the Harbor Hawks 7-4.
Not about how you start, Alex, about how you finish. 5 runs across the 9th and 10th innings for the Kettleers while silencing the Harbor Hawks across that span. This offense was down and out after the 5th inning, 10 up, 10 down going into the 9th frame, but Cotuit getting runners on base in any way possible. First it was the error, then the walk by Brandon Compton, and one play that's definitely going to go unnoticed. A ground out by Max Ballou up the first base line to advance both runners into scoring position. The Kettleers able to bring another run home on a ground out, 1 on a wild pitch, and then the offense exploding for 3 in that top of the 10th inning. But boy, this was a massive win against a in-division opponent tonight in the Harbor Hawks, and to stay in control of the number 2 spot in the West Division.
Cotuit improves to 12-7 on the season. Hyannis drops to 10-8-1. Like you mentioned, Joe, just a massive victory for the Kettleers. They were down but not out, and the offense finally came alive, was waiting for that one or 2 swings for it really to break open. Didn't have a couple of massive hits, but one thing that we have to talk about, Joe, this bullpen for the Kettleers today. Hyannis 2 for 16 with runners in scoring position, and they left 13 guys on base.
Well, it was more of the same from when the last time these two teams played. Hyannis leaving over 10 runners on base in that game as well. They left the bases loaded 2 times, loaded them up 3 total times in the ball game. But yeah, it comes down to your performance when runners are in scoring position, and credit Cotuit pitching today, mainly on the backs of Hunter Watkins and Christian Becerra, who come into both of their innings with no outs in the frame, or I guess for Becerra it was 1 out, but both of them entered the game with 2 runners on base. They stranded all 4 of them, and that is a massive difference in this ball game to keep the Harbor Hawks off the board throughout the middle part of this game. You couldn't keep their offense quiet for the entire game, but for Cotuit, you can't keep that offense quiet for an entire game as well. So an offensive explosion. It was better late than ever, but they got it, and they win 7-4.
Hunter Watkins goes 2 1/3 innings, allows 2 hits, doesn't allow a run. Christian Becerra comes in, eats up 1 2/3 innings, allows 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, also struck out 2. But Cam Schulke coming out of the bullpen, just masterful work, goes 2 innings, does not allow a base runner, and strikes out 4.
Yeah, it was the Cam Schulke like we saw from 2 years ago, who won the CCBL reliever of the year, going 2 incredibly strong innings. Those batters at the plate, they couldn't touch the pitches that he was throwing out there. Just the one foul ball down the right field line on the first pitch of the at-bat to Anthony Silva to start off this inning. That was the most threatening ball hit into play throughout the entire outing for Cam Schulke. And so for him to come out and have that kind of performance, it's just amazing to see. And for Cam Schulke, who maybe hasn't reached the level that he has since 2 years ago, to get back and to get some revenge against the team that ended the Kettleers summer in 2022, that's got to feel good. And it's got to feel good for the Kettleers to take their 12th win into another off day tomorrow.
And another play that might go unnoticed, you mentioned the hit by Max Ballou, but also the catch in center field by Kian Vu. Back in the bottom of the 6th, it was Christian Becerra who came on in relief, got a strikeout of Josh Tate. He entered in a tough spot. Runners on 2nd and 3rd, just 1 out. Got a strikeout of Josh Tate. And then Kane Kepley hit a ball to the deepest part of the ballpark here at McKeon Park. Kian Vu tracks it the entire way, races all the way to the wall, and makes a ultra important 3rd out of the inning.
Yeah, he hit it to the deepest part of this ballpark that you can without kissing it goodbye. And for Hyannis, they played the better ball game, to be honest. 11 hits, 4 runs, but it's just that timely hitting, of course, that we've hit on so much so far this season, Alex. And Cotuit prevailing in that category once again, and it's a big reason as to why they're going to go on to win this game. But 11 hits and 42 plate appearances for the Harbor Hawks, but to go 2 for 16 when the Ducks were on the pond and when they were in a position to score, that's the difference in this ball game tonight, and the Kettleers come out on top.
After starting off the month of July 1-3, the Kettleers have rattled off back-to-back wins with an 8-7 victory over Bourne yesterday in 5.5 innings. And now they made up for it, only playing 5.5 yesterday. They play 10 today. against Hyannis and pull off a 7-4 victory. And Joe, one final question here. Cotuit, the off day tomorrow, a much-needed off day. This has been a long stretch of baseball, but they come back on Tuesday at Lowell Park and square off against the 8-11 Brewster Whitecaps. How important is it for an off day tomorrow, and how do they harness this momentum from back-to-back massive victories?
Well, I think you bring up a great point because they just played 12 games in 13 days, or I guess maybe 11 games in 13 days because of the rain out last weekend. But for the Kettleers to kind of have their bullpen spent in these last few games, they had to really rely on a group effort tonight. It wasn't just a phenomenal start like we saw on the July 4th for Thatcher Hurd, where he went 6 one-run innings. It was a collective group effort tonight, and I think that's what the Kettleers are going to need to get going on further out in the month of July, which is stronger starting pitching. I think you need guys to pitch further into ball games. I know there are some pitch limits and some inning limits for some guys, and they're being used at, unforeseen times, or kind of they're limited at times to where how long they can go in ball games. But for the Kettleers to get good starting pitching, for the bats to wake up throughout the first 8 innings of the game, that would definitely help. But like you said, it's a much needed off day, much needed rest. Hopefully these guys can go out and enjoy an off day on Cape Cod, and to win this game in extra innings fashion, it makes that off day just that much more sweeter.
Well, that'll do it from McKeon Park. Cotuit victorious over the Hyannis Harbor Hawks 7-4. For my broadcast partner, Joe Pratt, for our sideline reporter, Adele Huffman, for our production crew, Jimmy Shantulis and Cam Christie, I'm Alex Rocco. Thank you so much for spending part of your Sunday evening with us. Cotuit victorious over Hyannis 7-4 in extra innings. Thank you so much and have a great rest.